Chapter 550, Shift the Blame, 1, uttered by Bexenville. CM Saint Spirit Sky, the square of the branch of the god of cookery meeting. In Xiao Changshan's room, Xiao Changtian slowly walked towards the small pot. She opened the lid of the pot, picked up a spoon, and put it into her mouth. Not bad. This is the taste. Xiao Changtian said slowly as he tasted it. Then, he placed the pot on a plate at the side and slowly brought it out. As soon as he stepped out of his room, Xiao Changtian saw that all the participants were already outside. What was going on? Was he the last one? Then, Xiao Changtian ignored the contestants and walked up with his pot. I don't know which god killed him. He actually snatched all the spiritual power in my dishes. Me too. I don't know what happened, but I didn't give an explanation. The other contestants didn't bother with Xiao Changtian, and were talking to each other. Although Xiao Changtian was carrying a small pot, they had seen someone try it before. Those who carried dishes without spiritual power were all eliminated. Xiao Changtian wasn't a cooking god. It seemed that another person was going to be eliminated. Soon, Xiao Changtian arrived in front of the old man. He placed the small pot on the table in front of him and waited for the old man to judge. Even if he was the last one to come out, his cooking skills were not faster than anyone else's. Xiao Changtian was confident that with his cooking skills, he would definitely get a good ranking. The old man looked at Xiao Changtian and smiled at him. Little friend, you are really young and promising. Then, he stood up and said to the cultivators below, I announce that this young friend will represent our region in the God of Cookery Association. Hearing the old man's voice, the participants gradually understood. So it was this guy who snatched our spiritual energy. How is that possible? This guy looks younger than us. How can he snatch our spiritual energy alone? Watch your words, watch your words. If that person hears you, aren't you courting death? Hearing the voices of persuasion around them, those cultivators slowly stopped cursing. At this moment, a figure came to Xiao Changtian and said slowly, I want to report him. This guy definitely cheated. Otherwise, how could he have fought for all of our spiritual energy? Hearing this somewhat angry voice, everyone also saw that Emocien had unknowingly appeared in front of Xiao Changtian. At this moment, the other contestants were also gloating at Xiao Changtian, as if they were watching a show. At this moment, the old man hosting the god of cookery meet also slowly said to Emocien, Are you doubting me? Upon hearing the old man's words, Emocien's gaze also changed. Although the people of the underworld sect were not to be offended, he was still the disciple of the fourth elder of the underworld sect. Thinking of this, Emocien bowed to the old man and said slowly, We just want a reasonable explanation. Xiao Changtian was also a little angry when he heard Emocien, although he did not know why he won. However, it was too much to say that he cheated. Young man, it was okay to be competitive. However, he could not splash dirty water on others. With this thought in mind, Xiao Yin walked up to Emocien and said slowly, Then tell me, how did I cheat? Emocien heard Xiao Changshan's angry voice and recalled the situation in the Han family's courtyard. He took a few steps back in fear and pointed at Xiao Changtian. How would I know? You must have used something shameful. All right. At this moment, before Emocian could finish speaking, another voice slowly sounded from the square. Then, everyone saw the head of the Emo family slowly land on the square. The head of the Emo family glared at Emocien. If he still did not come, the Emo family's reputation would probably be ruined by him after today. Everyone was watching how Xiao Changtian cooked just now. The elders of the Hell sect had also personally said that there was no problem. If she let Emocien continue, wouldn't she be making things difficult for herself? When Emocien saw that the head of the Emo family had arrived, he shut his mouth and did not dare to speak. At this moment, Emocien also arrived in front of Xiao Changtian and slowly said to him, Little friend, my son was rude just now. Following that, he slowly said to Emocien, Emocien, come over and apologize to our young friend. Father, Emocien wanted to say something when he heard that the head of the Emo family wanted him to apologize to Xiao Changtian. However, when he saw the look in the Emo family head's eyes, he shut his mouth. He slowly walked to Xiao Changtian and said, I'm sorry. Hearing Emosian's apology, Xiao Changtian waved his hand at them. It was understandable that young people were competitive, but they couldn't be like this. Fortunately, this old man seemed to be reasonable. After Emosian was restrained by the head of the Emo family, no one present came out to say anything. At this moment, the elder from the Hell sect also gave Xiao Changtian a token. Little friend, with this, you can join the Master Chef Association. Xiao Changtian took the token from the old man and smiled at him. The Hellfire chef he was looking for was also there. After putting the token into his interspatial ring, Xiao Changtian walked towards the Han family. At this moment, the voice of the head of the Mo family rang out in the square. Everyone, don't leave yet. As the head of the Mo family spoke, the cultivators of the Mo family slowly surrounded the square. When the elder from the Hell sect saw the actions of the Mo family head, he frowned and slowly said to him, "What are you doing?" When the head of the Mo family heard the elder's words, he smiled at him. "Elder Mo, I will need to take up some of your time." As he spoke, the head of the Mo family clapped his hands. Then, under everyone's gaze, a few Mo family disciples carried a few people out. Seeing the person carried out by the Mo family, the head of the Mo family said slowly to the elder of the Hell sect, "Elder Mo, this was discovered by a disciple of my Mo family nearby. As far as I know, these are all contestants who were going to participate in the competition. I don't know why they died in the alley." The Mo family head's words caused a commotion below, although he did not know how his people disappeared for no reason. However, using this opportunity, he could also release the powerful competitors that he had secretly killed before. In this way, not only could he reduce his suspicion to the greatest extent, but he could also use his own strength to attack. Perhaps they could even find out who was dealing with their Mo family. Below, Lin Ruomiao looked at the corpse on the ground and clearly understood the Mo family's intentions. Chapter 551. Those who don't know might think he's fleeing to fear his guilt. 1. Uttered by Bexenville. CM Saint Spirit Sky, the square of the branch of the god of cookery meeting. The surrounding cultivators looked at the corpses on the ground and broke out in cold sweat. No wonder they felt that their companions had suddenly disappeared. So he was killed. For a moment, everyone present felt insecure. Looking at the chaotic crowd below, the elder of the underworld sect shouted at them, "Everyone, don't panic. Everyone, think carefully. Did any suspicious people appear?" Upon hearing the elder's words, the cultivators quieted down and began to recall something. Xiao Changtian also came to Han Feng and Lin Ruomio's side. Xiao Changtian was shocked when he saw the corpses on the square. He did not expect so many people to be killed in broad daylight. He did not know who did it. At this moment, the disciple of the Mo family, who was planted in the crowd, shouted, "Everyone, think about it. If these contestants die, who will benefit the most?" The voice of the Mo family disciple slowly spread through the crowd. Then the people around the square seemed to realize something. They all looked in the direction of Han Feng and Xiao Changtian. On the square, the head of the Mo family sneered when he saw that the cultivators were beginning to suspect the Han family. "You're right. I've always felt that the chef of the Han family was a little strange. Now that these contestants are dead, there is no one else who can compete with him. Perhaps the Han family has used some unspeakable means behind the scenes." Besides Xiao Changtian, Lin Ruomio's face turned cold when she heard their voices. Just as he was about to walk out, he felt his arm being pulled by Xiao Changtian. "Ruomiao, ignore them." Xiao Changtian slowly smiled at Lin Ruomiao. These people clearly saw that they had won the championship. She was jealous and wanted to slander him. If she went over to argue with them, wouldn't she appear to be the same as them? When Lin Ruomiao heard Xiao Changshan's words, she also looked coldly at the surrounding cultivators. Returning to Xiao Changshan's side, Han Feng slowly said to Xiao Changtian, "Senior, what should we do?" Others didn't know that Han Feng had just seen Lin Ruomiao disappear. Naturally, they thought that Lin Ruomiao was the one who killed those people. Xiao Changtian heard Han Feng's words and said slowly, "What can we do? We can just wait here." He was a mortal, and above him was an immortal cultivator. It was not his turn to investigate the murderer. As long as those cultivators had a brain, they would know that it was impossible for them to kill those people. Because even if he wanted to kill them, he didn't have the ability. At this moment, the elder of the Hell sect heard whispers from below. Yisha reached out and waved his hand. The crowd below slowly said, "All right, everyone, calm down. My Hell sect will investigate this matter thoroughly. I'll have to trouble everyone to make a trip to the gate of hell." The death of a contestant in the God of Cookery meet was a big deal in Helltown. As long as the murderer was caught, no matter what, the entire family would be executed. As soon as the old man finished speaking, a few cultivators from the Hell sect walked out from the side. He led everyone slowly towards the gate of hell. At this moment, Han Feng couldn't help but say to Xiao Changtian, "Senior, are we going to the gate of hell?" Xiao Changtian heard Han Feng's words and glanced at him. What was wrong with this old man? She was already so old, but why did she look even more afraid than him? Those who didn't know better would think that he had fled to avoid punishment. Of course, why not? It was said that the Hellfire chef was in the Hell Gate. If he could see him at the Hell sect, he wouldn't have to attend the God of Cookery Association. If he wanted to bring her there, why not? Han Feng heard Xiao Changshan's words and nodded to him. It seemed that he was overthinking. Although the Infernal Gate has the Celestial King Hellfire, Senior still dares to go. This meant that Senior wasn't afraid of Lord Hellfire at all. The family might even soar in his hands. The head of the Mo family was also among the crowd. Looking at Han Feng and Xiao Changtian, he sneered. Although he couldn't see through Xiao Changshan's strength, he knew that Xiao Changtian was a powerful figure. With Lord Hellfire, those corpses that he had specially handled would definitely harm the Han family. At that time, even if the Han family had any support, it would still be a dead end. Soon, under the lead of the disciples of the Underworld sect, Xiao Changtian and his group arrived at the mountain gate of the Underworld sect. Looking at the door in front of him, Xiao Changtian sighed in his heart. This gate of hell looked very imposing. Fortunately, the Hellfire didn't cost money. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to afford it. With this thought in mind, Xiao Changtian also came to the gate of hell. Under the lead of the disciples of the Hell sect, they arrived in front of a pavilion. "You guys wait here. Fourth Elder will personally interrogate you." As soon as he finished speaking, the disciples of the Underworld sect handed Xiao Changtian and the others over. At the same time, in the attic in the center of the Hell Gate, Hellfire sat on a bed and slowly said to Sanji, who was standing beside him, "Sanji, did that person appear?" Sanji shook his head slowly when he heard the Hellfire's words. "Lord Hellfire, according to the information we have gathered so far, that person hasn't appeared." According to the reports from his subordinates, there was no news of Xiao Changtian. When Hellfire heard Sanji's words, he sighed. At this moment, a disciple of the Hell sect also pulled a cart of ingredients up. He slowly bowed to the Hellfire and Sanji above and continued, "My lords, these are the dishes for the contestants that were just sent over. There are ingredients that Lord Sanji is interested in." Hearing this disciple's words, Sanji hurriedly walked over. He looked at the name list and the description of the contestants. Sanji also quickly handed the soup pot made by Xiao Changtian to Hellfire and said slowly, "Lord Hellfire, this is the dish that person made." According to the description of Xiao Changtian, Sanji was sure that this contestant was Xiao Changtian. When Hellfire heard Sanji's words, he quickly took the soup pot from Sanji. He picked up a spoon and put it into his mouth. Wow! The Hellfire let out a sound of enjoyment. Then he praised her a few times. Good. Good. That's great. Before this, he had eaten the dishes of several contestants. However, compared to Xiao Changshan's small pot of soup, they were trash. Xiao Changshan's cooking was simply his ideal type of food. Chapter 552. This old man is definitely scamming me. 1. Utted by Bexenville. CM Saint Spirit Sky. Hellgate. At this moment, an old man had appeared in front of Xiao Changtian and the others. From the clothes on the old man, it could be seen that this old man had a high status in the Hell sect. This person was the fourth elder of the Hell sect. The fourth elder looked at the crowd in front of him and slowly said, "I more or less understand the situation on your side. I didn't expect someone to kill a contestant of the God of Cookery competition in broad daylight. This is simply challenging the authority of our hell sect. Following which, fourth elder also saw Emocian in the crowd and slowly said to him, Emocian, come here. Emocian was delighted to hear fourth elder's words. He immediately walked to the fourth elder's side. Master. Emocian came to fourth elder's side and said to him flatteringly, I'll settle the score with you later. At this moment, fourth elder slowly transmitted his voice to Emocian. Your father suddenly has a plan. You know what to do, right? After sending a voice transmission to Emocian, the fourth elder cleared his throat and slowly said to him, Emocian, tell me what's going on. At this moment, Emocian stood up straight and pointed at Xiao Changtian, Han Feng and the others. Fourth elder, the god of cookery competition this time is really strange. When that kid from the Han family participated in the competition, he actually took away everyone's spiritual energy. I suspect that there's a trap. Moreover, those missing people might be the handiwork of the Han family. Emocian's voice slowly sounded in the crowd. Everyone's gaze turned towards Han Feng and Xiao Changtian. After Han Feng felt the gazes around him, he panicked. This wasn't any other place. If he didn't do well, he might die here. Moreover, this fourth elder of the Hell sect was Emocian's master. It was obvious that he was targeting them. At this moment, Xiao Changtian also said to Han Feng, Old Master Han, don't worry. Leave it to me. Han Feng heard Xiao Changshan's words and didn't know why. Looking at Xiao Changshan's back, he was like a god. Senior, you are truly a peerless deity. At this moment, Xiao Changtian also walked to the front of the crowd and pointed at Emocian. I also have something to say. This brother just fell on his head a few days ago. What he said now is not very credible. I think we should find a doctor to take a look at him. Xiao Changtian pointed at his own head as he spoke. When he first saw him, Xiao Changtian thought that he was almost recovered. He didn't expect his brain to really fall sick. It was fine if they doubted him. After all, he had won the championship. There was always someone who wanted to smear his reputation. However, it was nonsense to say that he had taken away the spiritual energy. Why didn't he take a look at how a mortal like him could absorb spiritual energy? Besides, if he could absorb spiritual energy, why would he come here? When Emocian heard Xiao Changshan's words, he recalled the scene of him being pushed down by Xiao Changtian in the Han family. Just as he was about to say something, Xiao Changtian turned to Han Feng and said, Don't you think so, Old Master Han? He fell at your house. At this time, Xiao Changtian also wanted to find someone to prove himself. Han Feng nodded his head when he heard Xiao Changshan's words. At this moment, everyone present was looking at Emocian with different gazes. Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, the surrounding gazes also fell on him. Emocian gritted his teeth and shouted angrily at Xiao Changtian, I'm going to kill you. As soon as he finished speaking, Emocian was about to shoot towards Xiao Changtian. Looking at Emocian who was coming towards him, Xiao Changtian also swung his taiji fist. He immediately flipped Emocian and threw him heavily on the ground. Wow, he was about to hit her just because she didn't get along. Fortunately, he knew a little martial arts. Otherwise, it would be hard to say. At this moment, the fourth elder of the Hell sect looked at Xiao Changtian and said slowly, If you dare to attack our Hell sect, then stay here forever. At this moment, Xiao Changtian heard the fourth elder of the Hell sect's words and was a little dumbfounded. This brain has problems. This is not contagious, right? This guy didn't say anything when he charged at him just now. He couldn't just defend himself. At this moment, the fourth elder also rushed towards Xiao Changtian. The moment the fourth elder attacked, some people present also closed their eyes. The fourth elder was a golden immortal, and Xiao Changtian looked very young. How could he be a match for the fourth elder? In some people's eyes, Xiao Changtian was already a dead man. He could only blame it for being expensive. He had offended someone he shouldn't have. Everyone present knew that Emocian was fourth elder's disciple. Xiao Changtian had slapped Emocian just now. Wasn't this a slap to fourth elder's face? At this time, Han Feng also said to Xiao Changtian, Senior, do you need help? Han Feng didn't know Xiao Changshan's cultivation level, so he asked with concern. As Han Feng spoke, the head of the Emo family also stared at him slowly. It seemed that the Mo family head would stop Han Feng once he made a move. Xiao Changtian slowly responded after hearing Han Feng's words. This old man is so unreasonable. What if I hurt him? This old man was as thin as a stick, yet he still wanted to attack him. If she attacked him, he would hurt his waist or something. What should he do? After Han Feng heard Xiao Changshan's casual words, he heaved a sigh of relief in his heart. It seemed that Senior had a well-thought-out plan. He did not have to worry too much. The head of the Mo family sneered when he heard Xiao Changshan's words. This Xiao Changtian really knew how to brag. Even Lord Hellfire had never said such arrogant words, fearing that he would hurt the fourth elder. Did he think that he was stronger than Lord Hellfire? The fourth elder was furious when he heard Xiao Changshan's words. Brat, you're courting death. After shouting at Xiao Changtian, the fourth elder also came to Xiao Changtian. Xiao Changtian looked at the fourth elder in front of him. This old man was really speechless. Then he made a defensive gesture. Bang! The fourth elder slapped Xiao Changshan's arms. Then, almost everyone watched in disbelief. The fourth elder's figure fell backward with a whoosh. Bang! The fourth elder's body fell to the ground with a loud sound. At the same time, Xiao Changtian slowly removed his arm. Wow! This old man was definitely scamming him. He didn't do anything, so how could he fall? Chapter 553. You won't get any benefits from me. 1. Uttered by Bexenville. CM Saint Spirit Sky. Hellgate. The crowd around Xiao Changtian looked at him in shock. The fourth elder of the Hell sect was defeated by a single punch? At this time, Xiao Changtian also slowly said to the people around him. Everyone saw it just now. This old man fell to the ground alone. I didn't do anything. Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, everyone present looked at his smile and slowly nodded. What a joke. Who would dare to provoke Xiao Changtian now? The person who could defeat the fourth elder would have to punch him. He had no choice but to meet Hades. At this moment, fourth elder also slowly stood up from the ground. Looking at Xiao Changtian, his eyes were filled with hatred. When his palm hit Xiao Changshan's arms, fourth elder suddenly felt the surrounding space power tearing him apart. His body couldn't take it and fell to the ground. I didn't expect you to have some skills. At this moment, the fourth elder wiped the corner of his mouth and said to Xiao Changtian slowly. Xiao Changtian heard the fourth elder's words and said slowly, I've seen too many of your tricks. That's right. In his previous life, he had seen at least 800 reports of these scammers. The most exaggerated thing was that some people even took the initiative to go on the road to scam people. If the car hadn't stopped, she would have been gone. This old man's trick was too crude. As Xiao Changshan's words fell, the fourth elder also smiled. Is that so? Then I'll show you something you haven't seen. Xiao Changtian was also a little confused when he heard the fourth elder's words. Again? No, why was this old man so persistent? Most importantly, he didn't have money. Why would he do that? As he thought about this, Xiao Changtian slowly said to the fourth elder, Old man, don't waste your time. You won't get anything from me. Provoke. A blatant provocation. When the fourth elder heard about Xiao Changtian, he couldn't help but feel angry. Then the fourth elder charged at Xiao Changtian again. Fourth bro, what are you doing? At this moment, a voice slowly sounded. When this voice sounded, the fourth elder also stopped in his tracks. Everyone looked in the direction of the voice and saw Hellfire and Sanji. He was walking towards them. Seeing the Hellfire walk over, everyone present lowered their heads. It had to be said that Hellfire's reputation in Helltown was quite high. Seeing fourth elder stop, Xiao Changtian heaved a sigh of relief. When he saw Hellfire walking over, he walked over and patted him on the shoulder. Thank you. Finally, there was someone who could take charge. Otherwise, that old man would have insisted on scamming him. He really didn't know what to do. Seeing Xiao Changtian patting the Hellfire on the shoulder, everyone looked at him. Did this guy think that he could do whatever he wanted after defeating the fourth elder? Do you know who's standing in front of him? That's Hellfire, the only celestial king in Helltown. If he used the Hellfire, Xiao Changtian would be burned to ashes. The head of the Mo family was a little worried when he saw fourth elder being defeated. However, Xiao Changtian was still so rude to him when he saw the Hellfire. Fortunately, The heavens were still looking out for him. This guy actually took the initiative to provoke Lord Hellfire. However, Xiao Changshan's ashes didn't happen. Then, everyone saw that the Hellfire didn't show any anger when Xiao Changtian patted it. Instead, he smiled at Xiao Changtian and said, "Senior, I finally see you. Do you know that if you didn't come, I would have gone to look for you?" Hearing Hellfire's words, everyone was stunned. What was going on? Why did it seem like this guy was very familiar with Lord Hellfire? Not only everyone present, even Xiao Changtian himself was stunned. "Wait, do I know you?" Although he had just thanked him for helping him, it was too sudden. Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, the Hellfire was not angry. He slowly said to Xiao Changtian, "Senior's culinary skills are so strong." Hearing the Hellfire's words, Xiao Changtian slowly understood. So he admired his cooking skills. Then, Xiao Changtian slowly said to the Hellfire, "I only know a few dishes. It's not worth mentioning." The Hellfire nodded at Xiao Changtian. Then, the Hellfire slowly walked up to the fourth elder. The fourth elder's back was already covered in cold sweat. When the Hellfire had appeared, he had thought that the Hellfire was going to help him. However, when he saw how familiar the Hellfire and Xiao Changtian were, his mood fell to the bottom. This Emo family had really screwed him over. Seeing the flames in the Hellfire's eyes, the fourth elder immediately knelt down. This was the sign of the Hellfire's anger. With his immortal king's strength, he clearly knew what was happening here. At this moment, Xiao Changtian also came to the side of the Hellfire. "Do you know this old man? He should have encountered some difficulties, but he can't come out to scam people. Take a look and see if you can help." When the Hellfire heard Xiao Changshan's words, the flames in his eyes slowly dissipated. "This is one of our chefs. He just bumped into you here," the Hellfire said slowly after hearing Xiao Changshan's words. Xiao Changtian nodded slowly after hearing the Hellfire's words. So he was a chef. No wonder he wanted to come out to scam people. After all, in the cultivation world, those cultivators were all fasting. Chef's treatment would not be any better. As he thought about this, Xiao Changtian said to the Hellfire, "It's not easy for the old man either. You have to tell him properly." The Hellfire nodded at Xiao Changtian. "Fourth brother, since senior said so, I'll teach you what to do." The fourth elder looked at Xiao Changtian gratefully when he heard the Hellfire's words. "Thank you, senior." Xiao Changtian sighed in his heart when he saw the gratitude in the fourth elder's eyes. Sigh, it wasn't easy for this old man. Then the Hellfire slowly said to Xiao Changtian, "Senior, I was a little late just now. Why don't we go in and talk?" Xiao Changtian nodded at the Hellfire. After Xiao Changtian and the Hellfire left, the fourth elder slowly walked towards Mo Xian and the Mo family. Chapter 554, Immortal 1. Usually, I feed the tortoise in the courtyard uttered by Bexenville. CM Saint Spirit Sky, Hell Gate. After Xiao Changtian left with the Hellfire, the fourth elder came to the Mo family. "Fourth elder, the relationship between you and our Mo family." The head of the Mo family looked at the fourth elder and said with a fearful expression. When fourth elder heard the words of the Mo family head, he also slapped him. "Who has anything to do with your Mo family?" Bang! After being slapped by the fourth elder, the Mo family head was sent flying. "Master, you can't do this." Seeing his father being sent flying, Mo Xian also came to fourth elder. "And you piece of trash almost killed me." Upon seeing Mo Xian, fourth elder was also furious. He gathered the true essence in his hand. A palm landed on the top of Mo Xian's head. Bang! For a moment, Mo Xian's head exploded in front of everyone. Blood splattered everywhere. When the people present saw the situation the Mo family was in, they did not step forward to help. If they wanted to blame someone, they could only blame the Mo family for offending someone they shouldn't have. Soon, under the fourth elder's care, the Mo family members were either dead or injured. After today, the Mo family was completely wiped out from Helltown. The people present looked at Han Feng, and their eyes began to become flattering. Some of the cultivators, who stood closer to Han Feng, gave him their treasures. Han Feng felt the changes in the people around him, and sighed in his heart. This was all the credit of the seniors. Han Feng naturally knew that these people were fawning over him, because of Xiao Changtian. Han Feng could imagine what kind of heights the Han family would reach, because he had chosen the right side. The Hellfire was so polite to Xiao Changtian. It was no longer a dream for the Han family to become Helltown's #1 family. Thinking of this, Han Feng was also excited. Seeing that Senior and his daughter were in a bad relationship, he would go back and ask Yu Heir to take the initiative. Perhaps the future of the Han family was not just this. Xiao Changtian followed the Hellfire to the back of the pavilion. The Hellfire and Xiao Changtian entered the same room. After sitting down in the room, Hellfire said to Xiao Changtian, "May I know your name, Senior?" Xiao Changtian heard what Hell said and said slowly, "Xiao Changtian, may I know your name?" Hellfire. When the Hellfire heard Xiao Changshan's words, he didn't care about his status. Hellfire? Xiao Changtian was delighted when he heard the Hellfire's words. Wasn't he looking for a chef? With this thought in mind, Xiao Changtian confirmed with the Hellfire, "You're the chef in this town." Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, the Hellfire burst into laughter. "I don't dare to be a chef. Compared to Senior, I'm far inferior." The Hellfire was speaking from the bottom of his heart. Why would he be so polite to Xiao Changtian? A large part of the reason was because Xiao Changshan's culinary skills had conquered him. In the eyes of the Hellfire, who would dare to call themselves a chef in front of Xiao Changtian? Hearing the Hellfire's words, Xiao Changtian clapped his hands. It was really easy to find. After coming here, he happened to encounter the Hellfire. This way, he wouldn't have to participate in the God of Cookery competition. At this moment, Xiao Changtian said to the Hellfire, "Hellfire, I have a job for you. Are you interested? How about following me to the island and becoming a chef? We don't have to cook especially well. We can communicate with each other if we don't understand. Also, food and accommodation are included." Xiao Changtian looked at the Hellfire with a confident smile on his face. From the way he came to this small town, he could tell that the chefs here were not treated well. When he went to the first-grade Xiangxiang restaurant, he didn't know what the pot in the kitchen looked like. And that old man just now, if it wasn't for the fact that he couldn't make a living, he would have come to scam her. Thus, Xiao Changtian believed that the Hellfire would definitely accept his conditions. When the Hellfire heard Xiao Changshan's words, it was enraged. As the ruler of Helltown for many years, Xiao Changtian was the first person who dared to speak to him like this. He wanted her to be his cook. Now there might not even be any dregs left. Hellfire forced a smile and said to Xiao Changtian, "What can you teach me?" Originally, the Hellfire had planned to let Xiao Changtian stay here to be its chef. Now she wanted to be his cook. Hearing the Hellfire's words, Xiao Changtian slowly said to him, "There are so many things. I can teach you anything, such as roasted lobster, the 8 immortals crossing the sea, and carp leaping over the dragon gate." In order to make the Hellfire cook for him, Xiao Changtian also said some awesome names. Actually, Xiao Changtian knew how to do these things. It was just that those people in his previous life had too good of an imagination to give them such a cool name. When Hellfire heard Xiao Changshan's words, he was also shocked. "Lobster? Senior, are you referring to the race from the Sky of Demons?" There were also carps leaping over the dragon gate, and 8 immortals crossing the sea. He had never heard of them. With this thought in mind, the Hellfire slowly said to Xiao Changtian, "Who exactly are you?" Those who could say such words were either fools, or had absolute confidence in their own strength. After all, if these things were to reach the ears of the people from the demon spirit sky, they would be able to kill him. Xiao Changtian would be hunted down by them. And from the perspective of the Hellfire, Xiao Changtian belonged to the latter. Xiao Changtian shrugged at the Hellfire's words. "I'm just a mortal. I usually feed turtles in the courtyard when one have nothing to do. But don't worry, you won't lose your job." Xiao Changtian knew what the Hellfire was worried about. As a chef, he was most worried that no one would want to cook for him. This was especially true for those immortal cultivators who were already fasting. He could chase Chef away at any time. However, he was immortal, and the people on the island all had to eat. At this moment, Xiao Changtian also placed the chaos ant on his shoulder on his palm. "Look, this is my pony. Do you want to be a chef here?" Afraid that the Hellfire wouldn't believe him, Xiao Changtian also took out the chaos ant. After hearing Xiao Changshan's words, The infernal flame saw the chaos ant in Xiao Changshan's palm. His heart shook, and then he felt dizzy whoosh, 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 accompanied by the sound of a gust of wind whistling past. The hellfire also found itself in a spiritual world, and his body could not help but transform into his original body. It turned into a ball of flames and stopped in this space. Then, the chaos ant's body appeared in front of the hellfire with a spatial storm. Chapter 555. Treasure Pill Heaven 1, uttered by Bexenville. CM Saint Spirit Sky. Hellgate. The hellfire looked at the chaos ants in front of it, and its eyes were filled with panic. Under the assault of the spatial storm, the hellfire was so small in this spiritual world. Senior Chaos Ant, I didn't mean to offend you. It is my honor to be able to follow Senior. The hellfire looked at the chaos ant and said slowly to him. It wasn't because of the pressure from the chaos ants. He saw that even the primal chaos ant was following Xiao Changtian and worshipping him as its master. If they followed Xiao Changtian, they might have a chance to evolve. He was a ball of immortal fire. He had thought that the next stage would be far away, but now there was suddenly hope. If he followed Xiao Changtian, he might be able to enter the next stage, Flame of Primal Chaos. With Xiao Changshan's skills, it was a blessing to be able to learn from him. When the chaos ant heard the hellfire's sincere voice, its body changed. Then, the hellfire saw pieces of space debris fly up from the ground. The surroundings changed, and the hellfire found itself back in reality. All of this happened in a matter of seconds to the outside world. Looking at Xiao Changtian in front of him, the hellfire slowly said to Xiao Changtian, Senior, I'm willing to go with you. Xiao Changtian wasn't surprised by the hellfire's words. Welcome to join us. At this moment, Xiao Changtian also went over to hug the hellfire. Then he took out a recipe book from his arm. This recipe book was also given to him by the system previously. It recorded all kinds of cooking methods. Take this recipe book. If there's anything you don't understand, you can ask me. Hellfire took the recipe from Xiao Changtian and flipped to the first page. His hands were trembling. Could this be the legendary heaven and earth recipe? Using heaven and earth as a furnace, gathering all the fire in heaven and earth to obtain the delicacies of heaven and earth. As a veteran food lover and chef, Hellfire was extremely eager to read this heaven and earth recipe. Previously, he had sent people to investigate many times, but there were no results. Now that it was in Xiao Changshan's hands, one could imagine how excited he was. Senior, this is too precious. Hellfire didn't expect that Changtian would give him such a precious thing. If he could make the dishes on it himself, not to mention eating those dishes, his cultivation would improve a lot during the process of making them. Just take it. How can a chef not have a recipe? Learn well. There will be many more recipes like this in the future. Xiao Changtian waved his hand at the hellfire as he spoke. This chef's life was really bitter. This was the simplest recipe. He could probably find it in any shop on the street. He didn't expect the chef to be so excited when he saw it. At this moment, Xiao Changtian patted the hellfire's shoulder. When the hellfire heard Xiao Changshan's name, he was excited once again. Xiao Changtian still had a lot of such recipes? Then, he followed behind Xiao Changtian. Looking at Xiao Changshan's back, his eyes were filled with determination. In the future, he would definitely work hard with his senior and strive to obtain other recipes. Walking out of the pavilion, Xiao Changtian said to the hellfire, Hellfire, I'll be leaving now. You can take care of the things here first. I'm at the Han family's residence. After you're done, just go there and find me. Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, the hellfire nodded. Then he sent Xiao Changtian out of the hell sect. After Xiao Changtian left, the hellfire said to the disciples of the hell sect beside him, How's the Han family now? When the disciples of the infernal sect heard the hellfire's words, they also reported to him. Sect Master. After Mo Xian became fourth elder's disciple a while ago, the Han family was suppressed. However, after the Mo family was suppressed by the fourth elder today, the Han family should be rising. Hellfire wasn't too concerned about the situation in Hell Town. However, he was still very good at gathering information. After hearing his disciples' report, the hellfire slowly said to him, Tell fourth brother that he knows what to do." After hearing the Hellfire's words, the disciples of the underworld sect also flashed and went to carry out the order. At the same time, in a space in the Saint Spirit sky, Chun Yang's figure slowly stood in front, and behind him were a few cultivators in gorgeous clothes. A pill furnace was displayed on the clothes of the cultivators, and their bodies were accompanied by waves of fragrance. Unsurprisingly, these few people were alchemists from Treasure Pill Heaven. It was the most prestigious profession in the human realm upon heavens. Every alchemist was in existence that could call the wind and summon the rain in heavens beyond. Not to mention that several alchemists had appeared at once. At this moment, Chun Yang looked at the few alchemists behind him and said to them flatteringly, "My lords, the sacred spirit sky is just ahead. The hellfire is right there." A man heard Chun Yang's words and nodded at him. "Good job. We will help you fulfill your promise." They had followed Chun Yang here because their master had encountered trouble while refining pills and lacked a powerful flame. Under the old man's instructions, these people also planned to go to the Saint Spirit sky to capture the hellfire. With the strength of the hellish flames, their master would be able to succeed in refining the pill without even saying anything. At this moment, they bumped into Morning Sun, who had been kicked out of Hell's Gate. Chun Yang communicated with them and volunteered to lead the way for them. When the few alchemists saw that someone wanted to lead the way for them, they were naturally extremely happy. Chun Yang looked at the Saint Spirit sky in front of him with a resentful gaze. "Hellfire, Lung Xiao Xiao, both of you will die." After saying this in his heart, Chun Yang brought a few alchemists to the Saint Spirit sky. As he slowly arrived at Helltown, Chun Yang's figure landed in front of Hell's Gate. "Chun Yang, what are you doing back here?" The fourth elder of the Hell sect was about to go out to see if the Han family needed his help. When he saw Chun Yang appear in the Hell Gate, he said slowly to him. It was no secret that Chun Yang was chased away by the hellfire last time. Chun Yang smiled at the fourth elder of the Hell sect. "It's not that I want to come, but that the lords want to see the hellfire." As he spoke, Chun Yang also took a step to his side. A few alchemists appeared behind him. The fourth elder's pupils shrank when he saw the clothes of the people behind Chun Yang. What was this person from Treasure Pill Heaven doing in their hell sect? Are you refusing a toast only to drink a forfeit? Chapter 556. He Deserved This End 1. Uttered by Bexenville. CM Saint Spirit Sky. Hellgate. The fourth elder of the Hell sect looked at the few alchemists in front of him and smiled at him. "You have come from afar to our Hell sect. Please come in." The fourth elder could sense that these alchemists were at the perfected immortal realm. They were not even as good as him, but he was still polite to them. It was not because of anything else, but because the appeal of an alchemist was too terrifying. As long as they wanted to, they could definitely gather a large number of cultivators to work for them. It was said that the alchemists of Treasure Pill Heaven were all accompanied by a Tao protector. Hearing the fourth elder of the Hell sect's words, the few alchemists did not stand on ceremony. He walked straight to the gate of hell and glanced at it. Hellfire really wasted so many resources. What's with the god of cookery competition? Don't you know that immortal cultivators can abstain from eating? When he spoke, the alchemist did not care at all. At this moment, a ball of flames flew across the sky, and the figure of Hellfire appeared in front of them. As the figure of the Hellfire appeared, the pressure of an immortal king was faintly released. "Which pill refiner are you subordinates of? Why have you come to my Hell sect?" Hearing the Hellfire's words, an alchemist slowly said to him, "My name is Su Lei, and my master is Pill Soul Heaven. These are my fellow disciples Su Lei, Su Feng, and Su Dian." As he spoke, Su Lei looked at the expression on the Hellfire's face, and his eyes began to burn. "And we don't have any other purpose for coming here. It's just that my master feels that it would be a waste if he doesn't use the heaven and earth immortal flame to concoct pills. We've specially asked our fellow disciples to invite Darren over to reminisce about the past." The strength that the Hellfire had just displayed had already made Su Lei and the others feel that their trip here had definitely not been in vain. The aura of the Hellfire before seemed to be even stronger than when they saw him before. In this way, His master would definitely be satisfied if he brought him back. As the sound of Su Lei's voice faded, the faces of the members of the underworld sect turned ashen. It seemed that this group of people did not come with good intentions. When the Hellfire heard Su Lei and the others' words, it burst into laughter. I'm very interested in what makes you genuine immortals so arrogant in the Hell sect. As he spoke, flames rose from the Hellfire's body. 2 huge flaming hands formed behind the Hellfire. Following which, he charged towards Su Lei and the others. Let me teach the Pill Soul sect how to respect others. The Hellfire recognized the Pill Soul Sky as one of the giants of the Treasure Pill Sky. A figure whose name shook the heavens. Hellfire, don't be so anxious. Bullying the weak isn't a good thing. A voice suddenly sounded from inside the Hell Gate. Then, a huge lightning net blocked the Hellfire's flaming hand. As the giant flaming hand and the lightning net dissipated, everyone saw an old man standing in front of Su Lei and the others. Elder Fei. When this old man appeared, Su Lei and the others also bowed to him. The Hellfire looked at the old man in front of him and narrowed his eyes. Fei Lei, I didn't expect you to still be alive. Fei Lei laughed at him after hearing the Hellfire's words. Back then I lost to you, but fortunately, I received the Pill Pavilion Master's help. Today you won't be able to leave. Fei Lei looked at the Hellfire in front of him with a walking stick in his hand. Below the crutch, there were bolts of lightning swimming like snakes. Is that so? Although you and I are in the same realm, I was able to defeat you in the past, and it will be the same today. Fei Lei shook his head when he heard the Hellfire's words. Then the space around him fluctuated. An old woman slowly appeared in the gate of hell. I didn't expect you to come, Lightning Tomb. Hellfire looked at the old woman in front of him and said solemnly, Fei Lei and Electric Tomb were a famous duo in the human realm upon heavens. Not only were the two of them powerful, but they had also reached the Immortal King realm. Their cooperation was something countless cultivators could not compare to. It was said that when they worked together, even immortal emperors would have to temporarily avoid them. The old woman held a mirror in her hand and looked at the Hellfire in front of her. 10 years ago when I wasn't around, Fei Lei was defeated by you. Naturally, we came to get back at you. Cut the crap and come with us. This way, perhaps you can still protect your Hell sect. As she spoke, the old woman pointed the mirror in her hand at the sky. Immediately, dark clouds gathered above the gate of hell. Lightning flashed and thunder rumbled, as if a lightning tribulation was about to descend. Boom! 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 Thunder boomed in the air. Xiao Changtian, who was about to go to the Han family, heard the thunder in the air and complained. The weather is really unpredictable. It's better to go back and ask for protection from the Hellfire. As he thought about this, Xiao Changtian slowly walked towards the Hell Gate. Meanwhile, in the Hell Gate, the Hellfire's eyes were burning with flames, and there were already a few charred spots on its body. Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb, who were opposite him, looked at him coldly. The Hellfire looked down at Su Lei and Su Feng, and a cold glint appeared in its eyes. During the battle, Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb already had the advantage. In addition, they constantly provided various medicinal pills. He would be subdued by them sooner or later. With this thought in mind, the Hellfire's figure also changed. Ever-changing. As the sound of his voice faded, the Hellfire transformed into a giant flaming python, letting out a series of shrieks at Su Lei and the others. Then he wanted them to attack. Struggle before death. Fei Lei saw through the Hellfire's intentions and said slowly, they were now the Tao protectors of Su Lei and the others, so they naturally wouldn't let the Hellfire harm them. His figure flashed, blocking the path of the Hellfire. Next, it was entangled with the hellish flames, and the Electric Tomb looked at the hellish flames from the side. The mirror in his hand reflected the Hellfire's body, and then a bolt of lightning struck the Hellfire. Bang! The Hellfire was struck by the heavenly lightning and fell to the ground. Then he slowly transformed into his human form. Cough! 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 The Hellfire coughed and looked at Fei Lei and the Lightning Tomb with a cold gaze. Hellfire, you are a heaven and earth immortal flame. But it's a pity that he wasted such a great talent. He's not doing his job properly, and is holding some god of cooking competition. He deserved to end up like this. When the hellfire heard Fei Lei's words, it burst into laughter. Don't talk to me about great principles. The cooking skills are also in the way, don't look down on people. As he spoke, flames rose from the hellfire's body again. Chapter 557, Xiao Changtian arrives 1, uttered by Bexenville. CM Saint Spirit Sky. Hellgate flames rose from the hellfire's body as he raised his hands. Then, the immortal flames on his body transformed in the air. Incinerate the world. The immortal flames transformed into rings of fire that shot toward Fei Lei, Lightning Tomb, and the others. This guy is crazy. Fei Lei cursed under his breath when he saw the hellfire's actions. Stop him together. The electric tomb looked at the hellish flames that were emitting scorching heat, and its expression was solemn. The dark clouds in the sky gradually dissipated due to the eruption of the hellish flames. This hellfire was going all out. If a celestial king were to fight with his life on the line, the power he could unleash would give her and Fei Lei a headache. The hellish flames were immortal flames that were automatically born in the world. If he really wanted to go all out, then the power he could unleash would only be stronger than other immortal kings. Then Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb both attacked the hellfire. 10,000 lightning surge. Fei Lei arrived above the hellfire. His eyes flashed with lightning as he put his palms together in front of his chest. Then ferocious beasts condensed from lightning appeared behind Fei Lei. Roar! 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 The thunder beast formed by Fei Lei roared at the hellfire. Then it attacked him. Lightning Tomb also came to the other side of the hellish flames and injected his true essence into his mirror. Thunder God descends. Bang! As soon as the Lightning Tomb finished speaking, the mirror in his hand emitted a light. Then, a giant holding a giant hammer appeared in front of the hellfire. Bang! 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 The hellish flame collided with the thunder beast and Thor's hammer. Huge waves were created in the entire gate of hell. The towers in the hell pavilion collapsed one by one because of their outburst. At the same time, Xiao Changtian, who was planning to go to the gate of hell, heard a loud noise coming from the sky. He looked up at the sky and muttered, "It looks like it's going to rain heavily today. The thunder is really loud." As he said that, Xiao Changtian sped up his pace towards the gate of hell. Inside the hell gate, Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb looked at the dying hellfire in front of them. "You lost. Hellfire, come with us. The pavilion master will save you." When the hellfire heard Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb's words, it also raised its head to look at the two people in front of it. "Ehe, the feeling just now is not good, right?" Fei Lei clenched his fists when he heard the hellfire's words. In his palm, there was a black piece that had been burnt by the flames. "Hellfire, I admit that as a heaven and earth immortal flame, you are very powerful. However, the truth is that you have lost." At this moment, Su Lei and the other three arrived before the hellfire. Su Lei held a stove in his hand and said slowly to Fei Lei, "Elder Fei, let me take him in." As he spoke, Su Lei looked at the hellish flames in front of him with a burning gaze. As long as he captured the hellfire, if his master was happy, he would give him more guidance or resources. In that case, his status in the sect would not be able to rise quickly in the future. At this moment, Su Lei began to imagine his future. As for the hellfire, it looked at the furnace that Su Lei had brought out and let out a cold laugh. "That old fellow from the Pill Soul Sky is really determined to get me. Senior, I'm afraid I can't be your chef anymore." At this moment, the hellfire looked up at the sky and said. At this moment, Su Lei also aimed the furnace in his hand at the hellfire. "Hellfire, can you give me an umbrella?" At this moment, a voice slowly sounded from the hell gate. Upon hearing this voice, everyone present looked towards the entrance of the hell's gate. At this time, who was not afraid of death, Su Lei looked at Xiao Changtian, who was slowly walking over, and scanned his body. There was no aura at all. Mortals. When the hellfire saw Xiao Changtian, a glimmer of hope appeared in his eyes. "Senior, did you feel that you were in danger and came back to save yourself?" With this thought in mind, the hellfire waved at Xiao Changtian. "Senior, I'm here." "Hellfire, do you think a mortal can give you hope? Calling a mortal a senior is truly laughable. Let me end your hopes." Su Lei looked at the hellfire and laughed. Previously, in front of the hellfire, the difference in strength was so great that it could not do anything to him. Now that he had a mortal, he could use him to vent his anger. As he spoke, a spiritual light shot out from Su Lei's fingertip and attacked Xiao Changtian. Bang! The spiritual light pierced through layers of void space and instantly arrived in front of Xiao Changtian. At this moment, the chaos ant on Xiao Changshan's shoulder also emitted a white light. Whoosh! The spiritual light disappeared in front of Xiao Changtian. At this moment, Xiao Changtian had also arrived in front of the hellfire in Su Lei. Hellfire, what's wrong? You don't look too good. Xiao Changtian ignored Su Lei and went to the side of the hellfire. At this moment, Su Lei looked at Xiao Changtian with a surprised expression. With his true immortal strength just now, he actually did not cause any harm to him. With this thought in mind, Su Lei decided to attack Xiao Changtian again. Looking at Xiao Changtian in front of him, the true essence in Su Lei's body fluctuated again. A ray of spiritual light flashed on his fingertip again, and he attacked Xiao Changshan's back. Xiao Changtian had just picked up the hellfire from the ground. Su Lei watched as the spiritual light was about to hit Xiao Changshan's back, and Xiao Changtian had yet to put up any defense. The corners of his mouth curled into a smile. The chaos ant was on Xiao Changshan's shoulder, and its two antennae were glowing. Whoosh! A silver light flashed across the chaos ant's body, and the spiritual light that Su Lei had cast disappeared. This scene was also captured by Su Lei and the others. At this moment, not only Su Lei, but even Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb squinted their eyes at Xiao Changtian. Xiao Changtian turned around at this moment and said slowly to the hellfire, "Who are these people?" Seeing Xiao Changshan's serious expression, Su Lei slowly said to Xiao Changtian, "Who exactly are you?" Xiao Changtian was also stunned when he heard Su Lei's words. He slowly said to Su Lei, "I came to Hellfire. He's my chef now." Then, Xiao Changtian looked at the Hellfire who had recovered a little. "Hellfire, do you have an umbrella?" Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, Su Lei also understood. It turned out that they were the same as him. They were here to smash his place and snatch his people. No wonder he was so arrogant. Chapter 558. None of you can take me away. 1 Saint Spirit Sky. Hellgate. Su Lei looked at Changtian and slowly said, "So you want to snatch her from me? Why don't you take a look at the person standing in front of you?" Xiao Changtian frowned when he heard Su Lei's words. It turned out that this person was the same as him. He wanted to snatch the hellfire from him. Thinking about it, it made sense. It would be strange if no one wanted a free chef like hellfire. With this thought in mind, Xiao Changtian walked to Su Lei's shun and said slowly, "Do you provide food and accommodation? How much is your monthly salary?" As he spoke, Xiao Changtian also leaned towards Su Lei. Following Xiao Changshan's footsteps, Su Lei's footsteps followed behind him. The chaos ant on Xiao Changshan's shoulder also emitted a silver light. The spiritual light that Su Lei had just released had quietly appeared behind him. Bang! The spiritual light struck Su Lei's body, causing him to stagger and fall to the ground. At this moment, Su Lei looked at Xiao Changtian with fear in his eyes. As Xiao Changtian walked towards him, Su Lei felt the space around him fluctuating. At this moment, Su Lei slowly said to Fei Lei and the electric tomb, "Elders, help me." In his perception, Xiao Changtian was just a mortal. However, Xiao Changtian acted as if nothing had happened. Su Lei no longer had the confidence he had at the start. He said slowly to Fu Lei and the electric tomb. Hearing Su Lei's words, Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb also came to Xiao Changtian. "Fellow Taoist, what do you mean?" Although they were all immortal kings, when Xiao Changtian appeared, just like Su Lei, they couldn't see through the changes in Xiao Changshan's body. There was clearly no aura on his body, but Su Lei was right in front of him. However, he was like a baby completely unable to resist. Looking at Fei Lei and the Lightning Tomb who had suddenly appeared in front of him, Xiao Changtian slowly said to them, "I'm just a mortal. I don't cultivate, so I can't be considered a fellow Taoist. You're the one who wants to snatch the hellfire from me, right? Tell me, what are your conditions?" At this moment, Xiao Changtian didn't treat them politely. He had traveled thousands of miles to this place, and finally found a chef he liked. It had only been a short while, And someone was already trying to poach him. How could Xiao Changtian endure this? Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb exchanged glances. Then he said to Xiao Changtian, "We have no conditions. We must take the hellfire with us." Take away the hellfire, the order given to them by the Pill Soul Sky. No matter what, they had to take the hellfire away today. Hearing Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb's words, Xiao Changtian understood. It turned out that these two people wanted to take advantage of him for free. They turned around and glanced at the hellfire. Xiao Changtian seemed to have understood something. He slowly said to the hellfire, "Hellfire, did you just fight with them?" The hellfire nodded at Xiao Changtian. Seeing the hellfire nod, Xiao Changtian confirmed his thoughts. No wonder when he first arrived, he saw that the hellfire was not in a good state. So it turned out that someone wanted to have sex for free. Looking at the clothes on these guys, it was the kid who had just spoken to him. It was obvious that they were the children of powerful families. These two old men should be butlers or something. He thought that they wanted to compete with him fairly. So he wanted to snatch her away just because his family had some power. With this thought in mind, Xiao Changtian didn't waste any words and said to Fei Lei and the electric tomb slowly, "Don't think that I'm afraid just because there's someone behind you. The hellfire is my chef, and none of you can take it away." If the other party were to provide better treatment to the hellfire, he would have nothing to say. But now that hellfire was a chef, it was already difficult for him to find a way out. He had just become his chef, so he had to protect him well. Hearing Xiao Changshan's domineering words, Fei Lei also stepped forward and said to Xiao Changtian slowly, "Although I don't know who you are, you can't stop me today." Celestial kings were considered the top existences in the entire human realm upon heavens. There wasn't a single celestial king who didn't have a name in the human realm upon heavens. Although Xiao Changtian was a little strange in Fei Lei's eyes, he was unfamiliar. He definitely hadn't reached the immortal king realm. Even if it was an immortal king, Fei Lei was not worried because he had the lightning tomb by his side. Looking at Fei Lei in front of him, Xiao Changtian also swept his gaze up and down. This old man was holding a walking stick in his hand. He looked like he was about to be buried. Could it be that he still wanted to make a move against him? With this thought in mind, Xiao Changtian slowly said to Fei Lei, "Old man, take your young masters and leave. You're not my match." As he spoke, Xiao Changtian started to wave his arms. A complete set of Taiji fist was displayed on Xiao Changshan's body. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. When Xiao Changtian waved his arms, the chaos ants on his shoulders also released a burst of silver light. Standing in front of Xiao Changtian, Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb felt like they were brought into a spiritual world by Xiao Changtian. Bang, bang, bang. In the spiritual world, Xiao Changtian kept waving his arms. As Xiao Changtian waved, giant spatial fists flew past them. The spatial power contained in the fist made Fei Lei and Electric Tomb feel waves of fear. This is an immortal emperor. No, he might be even stronger than an immortal emperor. If Fei Lei and the Electric Tomb had any intention of resisting before this, then they would have been killed. Now they could no longer muster up any thoughts of resistance. They just wanted to escape from the mental world as soon as possible. They might be buried here. Bang! After dodging a few times, Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb still couldn't avoid the pursuit of the giant spatial fist. The silver-white fist landed on Fei Lei and Electric Tomb. With a whoosh, the two of them flew out of the spiritual world. In the outside world, Xiao Changtian had also finished practicing his Taiji fist. Looking at Fei Lei and the Lightning Tomb, Xiao Changtian also glanced at them. These two old men, and this group of young masters, he knew them well. Usually, he would bully the weak and fear the strong. He was so afraid just by waving it around. It would be fine if he couldn't bear it. But since he was provoked, he wasn't afraid. Following that, Xiao Changtian slowly walked towards Fei Lei and Dian Mu. "Why aren't you leaving? Do you want to be beaten up?" Chapter 559. Returning to the island. 1 Saint Spirit Sky, Hellgate Lightning Tomb, and Fei Lei fell to the ground, and had yet to react from their spiritual world. After being hit by the giant spatial fist, they felt as if their bodies were no longer their own. His body and soul seemed to be separated. Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, his eyes were filled with fear. Staggering up from the ground, he looked at Su Lei and the others who were already in a daze from fear. Take them away and leave the gate of hell. When Su Lei and the others saw Xiao Changtian performing the Taiji fist, the first thing that came to their minds was the appearance of the sky of Pill Soul. Xiao Changshan's Taiji fist was even more powerful than the sky of Pill Soul's spiritual skill. The few of them looked at Xiao Changtian and knew that they had offended someone they shouldn't have. After Fei Lei and Mu Lei left, Xiao Changtian came to Hellfire's side. She slowly said to him, "Hellfire, are you all right?" The Hellfire shook its head at Xiao Changshan's words. "Senior, I'm almost done." To be honest, when Xiao Changtian had just performed Taiji fist, Hellfire was also shocked by him. He had thought that Xiao Changtian might be very strong, but he didn't expect it to be that strong. It was indeed an existence that could make chaos ants his mounts. His strength was truly terrifying. Xiao Changtian saw that the Hellfire looked good, and it didn't seem like something serious had happened. She patted his shoulder and said slowly, "How's your packing going? Come with me." When the Hellfire heard Xiao Changshan's words, he understood that Xiao Changtian was protecting him. Although Fei Lei and Lightning Grave had already left the gate of hell, there was no guarantee that they would return. Thinking so, the Hellfire looked at Xiao Changtian gratefully. "Senior, let's go." Xiao Changtian heard the Hellfire's words and left with him. Following behind Xiao Changtian, the Hellfire was determined to follow Xiao Changtian well in the future. After Fei Lei and Electric Tomb left the Hell Sect with Su Lei and the others, they also left the Saint Soul Sky. When he arrived at the Saint Spirit Sky, he glanced at the Saint Spirit Sky behind him. Fei Lei also had lingering fears. This was the first time Fei Lei felt irresistible. In front of Xiao Changtian, Fei Lei felt that he was just a mortal and didn't have the qualifications to fight with him. "It's too scary. He just let us go because he's obviously not worried that we'll leak the news." Lightning Tomb looked at the Saint Soul Sky and said slowly to Fei Lei, "I'm afraid that person can rival the Pavilion Master. We should go back and report to the Pavilion Master." Fei Lei voiced his thoughts after hearing the Electric Tomb's words. At this moment, a figure slowly appeared beside Fei Lei and Electric Tomb. "Seniors, please bring along the big men." Hearing this voice, Fu Lei and Lightning Grave also looked over. Chen Yang had already arrived by their side. Fei Lei frowned when he saw Chen Yang. "Why didn't you tell me that there was such a person in the Hell Sect?" When Chen Yang heard Fei Lei's words, he panicked. When Fei Lei, the Lightning Tomb, and the Hellfire were fighting, he had already hidden far away. Although he was a golden immortal, in the eyes of the immortal kings, he was just a small figure. If he were to stay by the side, wouldn't he be waiting for death? He didn't even see Xiao Changshan's arrival. With this thought in mind, Chen Yang slowly said to Fei Lei, "Seniors, who are you talking about? Didn't the Hellfire get caught?" With the strength of the two seniors, that Hellfire must have been beaten to the point where it was too afraid to resist. At this moment, Chen Yang also started to flatter Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb. After all, he had been in the Saint Spirit Sky for so many years. In the entire Hell Sect, there was only one immortal king, Hellfire. It was impossible for them to lose in a 2-6. Now that they were here, it meant that the Hellfire had been subdued. Now, as long as he could get close to her, it would be easy for him to deal with Leng Xiaoxiao and the others. As he thought of this, Chen Yang could not help but smile. Hearing Chen Yang's words, she cooperated with the smile on his face. Fei Lei and the Electric Tomb looked at each other when they thought about how they were in front of Xiao Changtian. Then, with great tacit understanding, he slapped his palms at Chen Yang. "I don't think you dare to resist." He slapped Chen Yang's head from two directions. Then, Chen Yang's head exploded in the air. Fei Lei seemed to have not vented his anger yet, and the walking stick in his hand hit Chen Yang's body. Then, Chen Yang's body exploded. This guy was just picking on the sore spot. He was a dignified immortal king. How was he going to survive in the human realm upon heavens in the future? After dealing with Chen Yang, Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb didn't stay any longer. With a flash, he brought Su Lei and the others and flew towards Treasure Pill Heaven. At the same time, Xiao Changtian brought the Hellfire to the Han family. After so many years in Hell Town, This was the first time Hellfire had visited the Han family. This made Han Feng feel flattered. Han Feng also instructed the Han family to give them the best service. Xiao Changtian slowly said to Han Feng and Han Yu after the short rest of the Han clan. Old Master Han, it'll have to trouble you to take care of me for a while. I still have some things to do at home, so I won't be staying long. When Han Feng heard that Xiao Changtian was leaving, he didn't say anything. Han Feng also knew that a small Han family would not be able to keep a strong like Xiao Changtian. He just wanted to do his best to help Xiao Changtian. I look forward to Senior's next visit. Alright, I'll definitely come again if there's a chance. After exchanging a few pleasantries with Han Feng, Xiao Changtian slowly left the Han family compound. Seeing the carriage that Han Feng had prepared for him, Xiao Changtian was also very grateful. Then he left with Leng Xiaoxiao, Lin Ruomiao and the others. After Han Feng watched Xiao Changtian and the others leave, he said to the disciples of the Han family beside him, Are you sure Lord Hellfire is in Senior's carriage? Patriarch, I just saw with my own eyes that Senior seemed to call Lord Hellfire chef. When he said this, the disciple of the Han family lowered his voice. He was afraid that others would hear him. After all, this was too far-fetched. After Han Feng heard the Han family disciple's words, he looked forward excitedly. That was because the people from first grade fragrance were slowly walking over. B. Chapter 560. Pill Soul Heaven, 1 Divine Realm. 100,000 Mountains. Xiao Changtian slowly arrived at the 100,000 Mountains with the Hellfire. When the Hellfire arrived in the divinity, he felt the thin spiritual energy in the world. He said to Xiao Changtian, Senior, do you live here? Xiao Changtian nodded at the Hellfire. Yes, you'll be a chef here in the future. The main hall is being built inside. There are a few hundred people. Then, Xiao Changtian walked to the side of the Hellfire and said slowly, Although the environment here is a little simple, you have to endure the hardships to be a better person. While talking, Xiao Changtian patted Hellfire's shoulder. When the Hellfire heard Xiao Changshan's words, its body trembled. Thinking about it, it made sense. There was no one in the entire Saint Spirit sky who was his match anymore. So he had unknowingly relaxed. Senior brought him here to temper himself. The Hellfire thought so and nodded gratefully at Xiao Changtian. Then under Xiao Changshan's lead, the Hellfire also arrived on the island. Divine King Red Cloud was carrying a red brick in his hand. When he saw Xiao Changtian return, he greeted him. Senior, you're back. Xiao Changtian nodded at Divine King Red Cloud. Following that, he introduced to the Hellfire. This is one of the brick movers here, Hongyan. This is Hellfire. He will be cooking here from now on. When Divine King Red Cloud heard Xiao Changshan's words, he smiled at the Hellfire as a gesture. In the perception of the hellish flames, Divine King Red Cloud was just a weak godly emperor. However, he did not show any fear when he saw her. Then, the Hellfire's pupils constricted when he saw the red brick in God King Red Cloud's hand. The brick in this person's hand seemed to be an incredible immortal artifact. Even the electric mirror in the electric tomb's hand seemed to be inferior to his. Looking at Divine King Red Cloud, the Hellfire did not have any intention of belittling her. Although Divine King Red Cloud's strength wasn't that great, the person who could pick up such a fairy weapon was a person who was extremely powerful. How could he be an ordinary cultivator? At this moment, Divine King Red Cloud said to Xiao Changtian and the Hellfire, Senior, I'm going to get busy. Elder Zhui is urging me. Xiao Changtian nodded at Divine King Red Cloud. Then, Xiao Changtian brought the Hellfire into the kitchen. After entering the kitchen, Xiao Changtian said to the Hellfire, Although this place is a little simple now, the kitchen utensils are still complete. This is where the kitchen knife and pot are usually placed, and this food bucket. In the future, when you finish cooking, put them inside, and then someone will help you distribute them. When the Hellfire heard Xiao Changshan's words, it was extremely excited. These were all celestial artifacts, celestial artifacts. If he had brought this kitchen knife with him, when he was in the Hell sect, how could that Fei Lei and electric tomb be his match? And this chopping board, this basket. Senior, can I use these? Xiao Changtian heard the Hellfire's words and said slowly, Of course, these are all newly made. You can use them to cook in the future. When the Hellfire heard Xiao Changshan's words, it also picked up a kitchen knife. She looked at her own face reflected on the blade. At this moment, Hellfire felt that coming here was definitely the best decision he had ever made in his life. At this moment, Xiao Changtian also gave an apron to Hellfire. Wearing this can also prevent some stains from sticking to your body. Hellfire slowly took the apron from Xiao Changshan's hands and looked at Xiao Changtian with excitement. This was probably a top-notch defensive immortal artifact. Wearing the apron, Hellfire felt that if he were to face a powerhouse of the same level, the other party would definitely not be able to hurt him. At this moment, Xiao Changtian also took some ingredients from the side. Xiao Changtian slowly handed the ingredients to the Hellfire and said, "Hellfire, I'll leave today's food to you." Xiao Changtian slowly left the kitchen. After Xiao Changtian left, Hellfire looked at the kitchen utensils and ingredients in front of him. He also started to do it excitedly. Bao Dantian on top of a small pavilion. An old man had his eyes tightly shut and held a Buddhist duster in his hand. There was also a furnace in front of the old man, and wisps of smoke floated out from them. At this moment, a few streams of light slowly flew over from afar. They landed in front of the small pavilion, revealing the figures of Fu Lei and the electric tomb. Upon seeing the old man in the pavilion, Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb brought Su Lei and the other three to the pavilion. "Pavilion Master, the mission failed." Fei Lei's voice slowly entered the old man's ears. Then, the old man opened his eyes and looked at Fei Lei and the electric tomb. He stood up from the ground and slowly said to them, "What happened? Don't tell me that you two celestial kings can't even handle the hellish flames." When he spoke, the old man's voice clearly contained anger. "Pavilion Master, we had already subdued the Hellfire. However, an unknown expert came out of nowhere and took the Hellfire away from our hands. His cultivation should be at the Imperial Immortal Realm." At this moment, Fei Lei also hurriedly explained to the Pill Soul Sky. When Dan Hun Tian heard Fei Lei's words, he waved the Buddhist duster in his hand. Then, his eyes emitted a golden light as he swept his gaze over Fei Lei. He also saw what Fei Lei had encountered in the Saint Spirit Sky. In the eyes of Dan Hun Tian, Xiao Changtian stood up slowly and kept waving his Taiji fist. Bang! In his mind, Xiao Changtian performed Taiji fist and punched at the sky of Pill Soul. Seeing Xiao Changtian punching him in the spiritual world, Dan Hun Tian suddenly felt an unprecedented pressure. Whoosh! He hurriedly retracted the golden light in his eyes. At this moment, Fei Lei fell to the ground and landed in the arms of the electric tomb. Looking down at Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb, Pill Soul Heaven took out a jade bottle from his interspatial ring. He threw it at Lightning Tomb, who quickly took out a pill from the jade bottle and put it into Fei Lei's mouth. Then, Dan Hun and Tian Yi's voice slowly entered Fei Lei and Dian Mu's ears. "I've already understood what happened in the Saint Spirit Sky. Take my token to the Demon Spirit Sky. Old Green Bull, please lend you a hand. Remember, you must bring me the Hellfire this time." As soon as he finished speaking, Pill Soul Heaven's figure slowly disappeared in front of Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb. Chapter 561. Demon Spirit Sky. 1 Divine Realm. 100,000 mountains on the island. Tables were already set up. On each table, there were all kinds of delicacies. Clearly, these were all the work of the Hellfire. Xiao Changtian sat beside the table, looking at the delicious food on the table. He also casually picked up a piece of vegetable and put it into his mouth. Yes, Xiao Changtian let out a light snort as he chewed on the vegetables. It seemed that his trip was not in vain. He was originally worried that he would have to cook for so many people. Hellfire might not have been able to complete it alone, but he did not expect it to be completed on time. Moreover, although this taste could not be compared to the one he made himself, it was still edible. This time, he had really profited from this round. On the table, God King Red Cloud and the others were eating the delicacies made by the hellish flames. He also felt streams of pure energy enter his body. These few days, Xiao Changtian wasn't around, so they didn't eat much. But moving bricks every day, The true essence in his body was also almost exhausted. At this moment, when this energy entered his body, he felt as if his muscles and bones were being cleansed. Senior, this is giving us an opportunity. While they were eating dinner, God King Red Cloud and the others looked at Xiao Changtian with gratitude. Especially Luo Tian and the others. It was their first time helping Xiao Changtian move bricks. At this moment, the joy in his heart was even greater than that of Divine King and the others. After dinner, under Lin Ruomio's arrangements, some people started to pack up. At this time, the Hellfire also came to Xiao Changshan's side and said to him slowly, "Senior, how was the food today? Is there anything that needs to be improved?" Ever since he came to the island, Hellfire was addicted to the kitchen. She spent all day in the kitchen, afraid that she would miss something. When he had nothing to do, he would pick up the heaven and earth recipe that Xiao Changtian had given him. Xiao Changtian looked at the hellish flame on his apron and said slowly, "Thank you for your hard work, Hellfire." Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, the Hellfire was delighted. After receiving Xiao Changshan's guidance, he also made some dishes according to the recipes. Since it was his first time making it, he did not know if it would achieve the effect described in the book. After all, Xiao Changtian had given him all kinds of high-grade immortal medicine. If he wasted it, the Hellfire would feel bad. Then, Xiao Changtian thought of something and said to the Hellfire, "Hellfire, do you know where there are more wild beasts? I see that there isn't much left on the island." Xiao Changtian had just left Daong Town not long ago, so he didn't know much about the entire cultivation world. As a chef, Hellfire should know more about this than him. Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, the Hellfire scratched his head. Judging from the ingredients given to him by the senior, Xiao Changtian wanted to eat wild beasts. It probably wasn't the ones from the demon spirit sky, right? With this thought in mind, the Hellfire slowly said to Xiao Changtian, "Senior, I do know of a place where there are many wild beasts." Xiao Changtian was delighted when he heard the Hellfire's words. "Do you have a map of that place?" When Hellfire heard Xiao Changshan's words, he took out a map from his pocket. The map of heavens beyond was not a rare item. Almost every cultivator in the human realm upon heavens could find a map of each realm with a little effort. Of course, there were also detailed and simple maps. The Hellfire was once the supreme ruler of the sacred spirit sky, so it naturally had the most detailed maps of the various realms. Xiao Changtian took the map from Hellfire and looked at the red dot that Hellfire had drawn for him. Then he slowly said to Futian on the island, "Futian, pack up and go hunting with Master." Xiao Changtian stood up from his chair as he spoke. He slowly carried his bamboo basket and looked full of energy. If he continued to build at this speed, he would go out for a while. When he had enough food reserves, the main hall should be completed. With this thought in mind, Xiao Changtian left the 100,000 mountains with Futian. The Hellfire watched Xiao Changtian and Futian leave. He could also foresee the tragic ending of the demon beasts in the demon spirit sky. It was not that he had not thought of capturing those guys from the sky of the demon spirit to cook. It was just that with his strength, if they were to become ruthless, he would not be able to resist either. Thinking back to how Xiao Changtian brought back the demonic beasts from the sky of the evil spirits, Hellfire was excited as well, and he quickly walked towards his kitchen. He picked up the heaven and earth recipe that Xiao Changtian had given him and started reading it slowly. At the same time, on a mountain peak in heaven's beyond, the entire mountain peak emitted an ancient aura. There was a huge lake, and at this time, it was beside the lake. There was an old man with his head lowered, drinking the water in the lake. Meh, meh, meh. At this moment, beside the lake, the green bull also slowly raised its head. He looked in a certain direction in the void. From there, a few streams of light slowly flew towards him. Then Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb slowly arrived in front of the old green bull. Senior. Standing in front of the old green bull, Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb also bowed to him. The old green bull casually glanced at Fei Lei and the electric tomb, then slowly said to him, "What are you two doing here?" As he spoke, the old green bull's figure also transformed into an old man. Seeing the old green bull in front of them, Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb also took out the tokens given to them by the Pill Soul Heaven. Raising the token in his hand, Fei Lei slowly said to the old green bull, "We are here on the orders of the Pavilion Master to ask for Senior S help." As he spoke, Fei Lei felt nervous. In front of the old green bull, the pressure he felt was no less than the Pill Soul Heaven. Plus it was their territory. Fei Lei felt that although he was an immortal king, his strength was still not enough. When the old green bull saw the token in Fei Lei's hand, he muttered to himself, "That guy from the Pill Soul Sky actually wants to use this favor? It's a bit strange. Tell me, what does that old man from Pill Soul Sky want me to do?" As he spoke, the old green bull also picked up the gourd at his waist and slowly took a sip. Following that, Fei Lei and Electric Grave told the old green bull about what they had encountered in the Saint Soul Sky. "Senior, we only need you to trap that unknown expert." When the old green bull heard Fei Lei and the Electric Tomb, he said to them, "That's simple. You just have to lure him here." Chapter 562. Arriving at Green Bull Mountain. 1. Utted by Bexenville. Siam Yao Spirit Sky. By the lake, the old green bull stood beside Fei Lei and the Electric Tomb and said casually. After Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb heard the old green bull's words, they looked at each other. Then Fei Lei said slowly to the old green bull, "Senior, you know that with our strength." Fei Lei hesitated as he spoke. The old green bull ignored Fei Lei and the Electric Tomb and threw the gourd in his hand forward. Then, the water in the lake in front of him began to churn. The lake water engulfed Fei Lei and the Lightning Tomb. "Don't worry, the descendants of our Green Bull Mountain will help you." After Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb left Green Bull Mountain, the old green bull took another sip of wine. "An expert of unknown origin. Is there any other powerful existence in the human realm upon heavens? Forget it, it's more important to report to the ancestor. Those guys are getting more and more restless." With this thought in mind, the old green bull's figure flashed and disappeared from the top of the Green Bull Mountain. After Xiao Changtian left the 100,000 mountains with Futian, he looked at the map in his hand. Looking at the road in front of him, the map was different from the one in front of him. This cultivation world was also troublesome. If he had a navigation system in his previous life, no, he had to take a good look. As he thought about this, Xiao Changtian said to Futian, "Futian." Before Xiao Changtian could finish, he saw Futian holding a goldfish tank. In the goldfish tank, the ancestral dragon was swimming freely. "Futian, why did you bring the goldfish out?" Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, Futian also said to Xiao Changtian slowly, "Master, I was in a hurry when I left just now, so I didn't put Senior Goldfish back." Seeing the smile on Futian's face, Xiao Changtian shrugged. "Since you brought it out, you can watch it carefully." When Futian heard Xiao Changshan's words, he heaved a sigh of relief. In fact, when he heard that Xiao Changtian was going to take him away from the 100,000 mountains, he was also excited. At that time, he was indeed by the ancestral dragon's side. The ancestral dragon had never left with Xiao Changtian. At the ancestral dragon's request, Futian had no choice but to bring him along with Xiao Changtian. At this moment, ancestral dragon, who was in the goldfish tank, said slowly to the chaos ant, "Chaos ants, why haven't you brought us over yet? It's not easy for you to come out, so don't rush me." The chaos ant was resting on Xiao Changshan's shoulder. Hearing the ancestral dragon's words, he slowly touched his tentacles. A silver light enveloped Xiao Changtian, Futian, and the others. Following that, Xiao Changtian and the others followed the map given by the Hellfire and arrived at Yi Fan's Demon Spirit Sky. Xiao Changtian flipped the map in his hand and looked up. That's right. Looking at the fork in front of him, Xiao Changtian suddenly felt that he had found his way. If he walked to the left, he would be in the forest that the Hellfire mentioned. At this moment, Futian was holding a goldfish tank and said to Xiao Changtian, "Master, where should we go next?" Xiao Changtian heard Futian's words and patted him on the shoulder. "Follow me." Xiao Changtian kept the map into his interspatial ring and slowly walked towards Green Bull Mountain. When Xiao Changtian and the others entered the Demon Spirit Sky, they were at the foot of the Green Bull Mountain. In front of Fei Lei and the electric tomb stood a few young men in green clothes. Following that, a young man's hand also flashed with green vital essence. In front of Fei Lei and the lightning tomb, Xiao Changtian appeared. Is this the person you're looking for? Seeing Xiao Changshan's appearance, Fei Lei and lightning tomb instinctively took a step back. After all, in the Saint Spirit sky, the pressure that Xiao Changtian had given them was much greater. Yes, he is. Fei Lei and electric tomb didn't expect the Green Ox tribe to find Xiao Changtian so quickly. After all, with Xiao Changshan's strength, he shouldn't have been found so quickly. Thinking of this, Fei Lei and electric tomb looked at the Green Bull clan with even more fear. According to the clan leader's orders, you can lead him to the top of the lake. When Fei Lei and electric grave heard the words of the man with the green bull, they wanted to say something to them. He saw that they had already walked into the depths of the forest. While Xiao Changtian was on his way to Green Bull Mountain, the ancestral dragon in Fusion's hand seemed to have sensed something. Chaos Ant, did you feel it? Someone seemed to be spying on us just now. It's not like it seems. There are already a few old cows in the mountain ahead. It seems pretty good to capture them and let them cultivate the land for their master. As it spoke, the primal Chaos Ant's voice revealed a hint of excitement. After Xiao Changtian moved to the island, there was no bamboo forest built for him. If he let the old green bull go over to plow the land for him first, Xiao Changtian might make arrangements for him. When Ancestral Dragon heard the Chaos Ant's words, a golden light slowly rose from his body. It was his first time following Xiao Changtian out, so he naturally had to perform well. Perhaps, once Xiao Changtian was satisfied, he would bring her out more often. When the Ancestral Dragon released the golden light, the few men in the Green Bull Mountain seemed to sense something. In his eyes, a golden light rapidly enlarged and enveloped them. Everyone, don't panic. The young man in the lead looked at the golden light that was close at hand, and the true essence on his body also emitted. For a moment, the aura of the immortal king also protected the people behind him. However, in front of the golden light, the celestial king's defense was useless. Under the Green Bull man's incredulous gaze, the golden light passed through their bodies. As the golden light flew past them, the aura on their bodies also rapidly decreased. I didn't die. The man with the green bull looked at his hands. He had thought that he would die for sure, but he did not expect to survive. Then, a series of banging sounds came from behind. The man with the green bull turned around and saw the man with the green bull lying on the ground. He said to them, "What happened to you guys?" Then, as if he had sensed something, the man with the green bull cried out loudly, "No, my cultivation, my cultivation." At this moment, the Green Ox man realized that his cultivation was plummeting. In the end, he fell to the ground with a bang. At the same time, Xiao Changtian brought Futian to Green Bull Mountain. The Green Bull Mountain was right in front of them. Xiao Changtian looked at the Green Bull Mountain in front of him and felt excited. Chapter 563. Do you still want those old cows to come and find you? 1. Utted by Bexenville. CM Demon Spirit Sky. Green Bull Mountain. Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb were walking around Green Bull Mountain. After the Green Bull man left, the two of them also thought of setting up some traps in the forest. He wanted to lure Xiao Changtian to the peak. At this moment, Fei Lei, who was walking in front, saw a few men with green bulls lying on the ground. She quickly walked over and placed her hand on his nostrils. "There's still aura. Quick, bring him to Senior Qingtian." Lightning Tomb looked at the few men with green bulls lying on the ground and said slowly to Fei Lei, "As the overlord of the Green Bull Mountain, the cultivators of the Green Bull clan were actually defeated here." This made one ponder. With this thought in mind, Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb couldn't help but think of Xiao Changshan's figure. With Xiao Changshan's strength, it wasn't impossible for him to do this. Then, Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb carried the Green Bull man on their backs. He flew towards the mountain peak. At the same time, after arriving at Green Bull Mountain, Xiao Changtian also took the map given by the Hellfire. Looking at the map, Xiao Changtian muttered, "Ahead should be the Green Bull colony recorded by the Hellfire." Xiao Changtian said, but he was also very excited. In his previous life, Xiao Changtian especially liked to eat beef hot pot and grilled steak. The hellfire was like a worm in his stomach. It knew what he wanted to eat. With this thought in mind, Xiao Changtian quickened his pace. At this moment, on the peak of Green Bull Mountain, Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb brought Green Bull and the other men to the lake again. After looking around, he did not find the old Green Bull. Electric Tomb also gathered the true essence of his body into his throat and shouted to the surroundings. Senior Qingtian, it's bad. A noble cultivator has been attacked. It's unknown if he's dead or alive. The Lightning Tomb's voice reverberated between heaven and earth. The lake in front of them also stirred up layers of huge waves. Then the old Green Bull's figure appeared on the huge waves. When he came to Fu Lei and Electric Grave, the old Green Bull also saw his Green Bull clan. His spiritual sense swept across them, and his expression turned cold. Who is it? Who is it that did this to my clansmen? The old Green Bull's furious voice slowly echoed in Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb's ears. Fei Lei's collar was also grabbed by the old Green Bull. He had only left with Fei Lei and the others for a short while before he received news that his clansmen had their cultivation bases plundered. How could the old Green Bull not be furious? Their Green Bull race had occupied the Green Bull Mountain for so many years, but this was the first time someone dared to be so arrogant in the Green Bull Mountain. When Dian Mu saw Qing Tian's angry expression, he said fearfully, Senior Qing Tian, it's very likely that it was done by that unknown expert. That guy is here. Qing Tian frowned when he heard the Electric Tomb's words. Then, he threw Fei Lei to the side. If it was that person, it could still be explained. After all, in the Green Bull Mountain, the people who dared to attack their Green Bull race had not been born yet. Let me see who you are. As he spoke, Qing Tian's body also lit up with a green light. In an instant, it enveloped the entire Green Bull Mountain. While Qing Tian was searching the entire Green Bull Mountain, Xiao Changtian also came to a grassland. I didn't expect there to be such a place in the mountains. The cultivation world is really different. Xiao Changtian looked at the grassland in front of him and said slowly. Then he took out a telescope from the bamboo basket in Fuxian's hand. After observing the grassland for a while, Xiao Changtian slowly said to Futian, Futian, get ready. It's time to start working. Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, Futian was also very excited. After coming to heavens beyond, he wanted to test the strength of the demon beasts in the demon spirit sky. Following that, Futian also prepared to pick up a weapon from the bamboo basket. Just as Futian bent down, his body also paused for a moment. The demon beasts of the demon spirit sky were all so arrogant. They even took the initiative to attack. At this moment, Futian also released his spiritual sense. In the air, Qing Tian and Fu Tian's spiritual senses also collided. Bang! The two spiritual senses collided, and the green ball transformed into its own figure. The figure of the green bull behind it was faintly discernible. As for Fuxian's spiritual sense, it transformed into a dignified figure with an invincible aura. Qing Tian looked at Futian and said slowly, Why have you come to my Green Bull Mountain? You're already like this. Aren't you going to fight? Futian looked at the black bull in front of him and didn't say anything. A golden book appeared in his hand. Book of Man, 9 Dragons Imperial Heaven. As soon as Futian finished speaking, the golden light on his body continued to rise. They turned into golden dragons that tore at the sky. Seeing that Futian was about to attack without any explanation, Qing Tian also shouted angrily at him. Are you going to fight to the death with my Green Bull Mountain? Bang! As soon as Qing Tian finished speaking, the golden dragon also passed through his body. Qingshan's figure also disappeared from the world. Boring, you ran away so quickly. Fu Tian muttered to himself as he held the bamboo basket in his hand. Xiao Changshan's voice was heard. Futian, hurry up. Do you still want those old bulls to come and find you? Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, Futian nodded at him. His master was right. With his and his master's strength, there would be no opponents. It was normal for the old bull to run away when he saw him. However, it was still much stronger than those in the divine world. Thinking of this, Futian quickly picked up the bamboo basket and followed behind Xiao Changtian. On the Green Bull Mountain, Fei Lei came to Qing Tian's side after a while and said slowly to him, "Senior Qing Tian, how is it?" At this time, Qing Tian also slowly withdrew his spiritual sense and looked down the mountain. No wonder that old man Pill's soul didn't deal with it himself and brought the trouble to me. Qing Tian glanced at Fei Lei. In Qing Tian's eyes, Fu Tian was a battle maniac. Moreover, that person's strength just now was already on par with his. Fei Lei felt a sense of foreboding when Qing Tian stared at him. "Bring Qi Feng and the others back to their residence. You don't have to interfere in this matter." Fei Lei nodded at Qing Tian. It seemed that the strength of that unknown expert was beyond his imagination. Even Senior Qing Tian had to treat him so seriously. After Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb left the mountain with Qing Feng, Qing Tian waved his hand and said slowly to the void in front of him, "Demon King of the Mountain, come and have a chat." Chapter 564. We are just passing by one, uttered by Bexenville. CM Demon Spirit Sky. Green Bull Mountain Peak. Qing Tian stood on the mountain peak. A few men wearing animal skin coats slowly stood up. At this moment, Qing Tian also looked at the few men in front of him and slowly said to them, "Everyone, the Green Bull Mountain has not been invaded for many years. Someone is coming to destroy our home today. I think you know what to do." On Green Bull Mountain, a man wearing black leather beast clothes heard Qing Tian's words. He scratched his own claws and said slowly to Qing Tian, "Don't worry, my lord. He's just a human. We feel that he will feel our hospitality. Leave those humans with small arms and legs to me." The person who spoke was a man in yellow clothes. He was muscular, and his tone was filled with disdain. In front of Qing Tian were the top experts in Green Bull Mountain. They were all golden immortals. When Qing Tian heard Black Panther and Yellow Pig's words, he also said slowly to them, "Let me remind you, don't underestimate the human race. To be able to come here, your abilities are not small. Don't fail miserably." Hearing Qing Tian's words, Black Panther, Yellow Pig, and the rest also had to symbolically bow to Qing Tian. Then, their figures turned into a stream of light and flew towards various directions of Green Bull Mountain. After Qing Tian watched them leave, a jade bottle appeared in his hand. It was the jade bottle that the Pill Soul Heaven had asked Fei Lei to give him. Looking at the jade bottle in his hand, Qing Tian muttered, "I hope I can break through this time. Otherwise they'll suffer a loss." As soon as he finished speaking, Qing Tian turned into a stream of light and entered the lake. On the other side, under Xiao Changshan's lead, Fu Tian also came to a narrow entrance. Through the narrow entrance, Xiao Changtian could also feel the sounds coming from inside. There was also a relatively rough-looking cowsheet. Then, Xiao Changtian brought Fu Tian into the cowsheet. Looking at the scene in the cowsheet, Xiao Changtian was also very excited. It seemed that he had found the right place. It looked like a cow's den. As he thought about it, Xiao Changtian slowly said to Fu Tian, "Fu Tian, let's set up first and wait for the rabbit." As he spoke, Xiao Changtian took out props from the bamboo basket and began to set up the cowsheet. At the same time, Fei Lei, Electric Tomb, and Qing Feng slowly appeared outside the cowsheet. "Sir, this is your residence, right?" Although Qing Feng's cultivation base was completely gone now, Fei Lei was still quite polite to him. After all, they were in other people's territory. When Qing Feng heard Fei Lei's words, he also smiled at him. "Thank you." As he spoke, Qing Feng also walked to the narrow entrance. He took out a token from his chest. The moment the token was taken out, the narrow mouth emitted a burst of green light in response. At this moment, Qing Feng's figure also paused for a moment. "Not good, someone has broken into my mansion." As soon as he finished speaking, Qing Feng did not care about anything else, and directly rushed into his residence. Now he had lost all of his cultivation, and was only left with the things in his mansion. If it was stolen again, then he would never be able to make a comeback. He saw Qing Feng hurriedly walking into his territory. Fei Lei and the Electric Tomb looked at each other and quickly followed. After entering his mansion, Qing Feng first looked around. Then he felt his feet lighten. Bang! With a loud bang, Qing Feng saw a huge pit under his feet. Without any cultivation, his body naturally fell down. When he arrived at the bottom of the pit, Qing Feng felt the power of laws around him. The human form could not maintain its transformation, and turned into a green bull lying in the pit. At this moment, Xiao Changtian also walked out slowly with Futian. Futian, the prey has taken the bait, Xiao Changtian said to Futian, and came to the pit. Xiao Changtian knew that his plan had succeeded when he heard the loud noise. When Qing Feng saw Xiao Changtian, he also shouted at him. Xiao Changtian smiled at Qing Feng and said, "You must have fallen quite badly just now. It's okay. You'll be free soon. It's been a long time since I've eaten grilled steak." Qing Feng heard Xiao Changshan's words, and a burst of anger appeared in his heart. Damn it, this person actually wanted to eat him. Then, he struggled violently for a few times and glared at Xiao Changtian, who was at the entrance of the cave. As for Futian, he looked at Qing Feng in the pit, and also looked at the goldfish tank in his hand. With his eyesight, he naturally knew that it was the ancestral dragon, who had destroyed his cultivation previously. At this moment, the green bull looked at the ancestral dragon with bloodshot eyes. "Oh, you still have a temper." Ancestral dragon swam around the goldfish tank, and looked at Qing Feng disdainfully. At this moment, Fei Lei and Electric Grave also walked in from outside. When he saw Xiao Changtian, who was about to make Qing Feng happy, his face stiffened. It couldn't be such a coincidence, right? Xiao Changtian looked at the lightning tomb, and Fei Lei in front of him, and was stunned. These two people seemed to have met somewhere before. Then, seeing Fei Lei and the electric tomb walking back, he said to them slowly, "This green bull is mine. You can go look for it elsewhere." When they heard Xiao Changshan's words, Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb's bodies stiffened instinctively. After hearing Xiao Changshan's words, he heaved a sigh of relief. Well, leave now." Xiao Changtian nodded at them when he heard that they were leaving. "Your things." At this moment, Xiao Changtian pointed at a mirror on the floor. Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, Electric Tomb looked at the mirror on the ground and quickly picked it up. "Master, are they targeting this green bull?" At this time, Futian also came to Xiao Changshan's side. Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb also paused for a moment when they heard Futian's words. "No, we're just passing by. We haven't seen the green bull." At this moment, Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb also waved at Xiao Changtian. Yes, you guys go and take a look elsewhere. Futian, get ready. Let's see how the food tastes." At this time, Xiao Changtian also ordered Futian to prepare to roast the whole cow. After Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb knew Xiao Changshan's goal, they took advantage of the time when they were preparing. They quickly slipped out and ate the green cow. They didn't even dare to think about it. "Fei Lei, what should we do?" After leaving Qing Feng's mansion, Lightning Tomb clutched his chest and spoke slowly to Fei Lei. Chapter 565. Demon King Moves Out, 1. Utted by Bexenville. CM Demon Spirit Sky. Green Bull Mountain. When Fei Lei heard the Electric Tomb's words, true essence surged in his hand, and he punched himself in the chest. Then he spat out a mouthful of blood. "Fei Lei, what are you doing?" Electric Grave said to Fei Lei in confusion when he saw his actions. "How can we face the sky like this? If he finds out that we've given up on his clansmen, perhaps." At this moment, Fei Lei also cut his own neck. Hearing Fei Lei's words, Lightning Tomb also reacted. He also punched himself in the chest. Then, the two of them turned into a stream of light and flew toward the Green Bull Mountain. At this moment, Black Panther and the others were also standing in the air above the Green Bull Mountain peak. After they received Qing Tian's order, they also started searching in their respective domains. There was no sign of any human at all. "Do you think that the human is in our children's stomachs?" At this moment, Black Panther looked at the few monster kings opposite him, and said slowly to them, "Haha, only your Black Panther tribe eats humans. Those people are not even enough to fill the gaps between our teeth. However, it's said that those humans like to eat pork and beef. I wonder what it feels like to be eaten." As he spoke, Yellow Pig laughed loudly. "I see that Lord Qingtian is in seclusion. Let's go back." After waiting for a while, and not seeing Qingtian's figure, Black Panther slowly said to everyone, At this moment, Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb slowly arrived at the mountain peak. The Black Panther and Yellow Pig exchanged a glance, and their eyes lit up. Two humans? Mine, Black said to the Yellow Pig. Then its body flashed and it arrived in front of Fei Lei and the Electric Tomb. Human, so you were hiding here. The sharp claws in its hands brought about a whooshing sound as the Black Panther was about to attack Fei Lei's head. Thunder God's protection. At this moment, Fei Lei's quintessential essence also flashed, forming a lightning shield in front of him, blocking the Black Panther's attack. Bang! After the two sides clashed, they stabilized themselves on the mountain peak. Black Panther, looks like you're not that great. The Yellow Pig saw that Black Panther was at a disadvantage and mocked him. After Fei Lei stabilized his body, he saw the Yellow Pig that was about to attack him. She also reached out to stop him. Wait, we're here to look for Lord Qingtian. As he spoke, Fei Lei took out a token. It was the token of the Green Bull race. Seeing the token in Fei Lei's hand, the Yellow Pig slowly withdrew its attack. Why are you looking for Lord Qingtian? At this moment, the Lightning Tomb also took a step forward. We're here to report that Lord Qingtian has met with misfortune. We met that expert on the way to the mansion with Qingfeng. After heavily injuring us, I plan to roast Lord Green Maple to eat. At this point, Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb also knelt down toward the lake. Lord Qingtian, we are useless. When Black Panther and the others heard that someone wanted to treat the Green Bull clan as food, they were also shocked. A huge wave suddenly rose from the lake behind them. The huge waves stacked layer by layer, finally forming a staircase. Then, the lake water rolled and formed a shadow of the blue sky above the stairs. Lord Qingtian, Black Panther, Yellow Pig, and the others could see the sky. They seemed to feel the anger flowing out of his body. At this moment, everyone shut their mouths and did not speak. Kill without mercy, Qingtian said slowly, then glanced at Fei Lei and the Electric Tomb. Under the gaze of the blue sky, Fei Lei and Electric Tomb felt that there was no privacy in their bodies. Then the blue sky and the thousand-layered waves slowly dissipated. When the blue sky dissipated, the Demon King's presence slowly said to him, "We will definitely slaughter that human." Then, those monster kings flew towards the Green Maple Mansion where Xiao Changtian was. As they left, the entire peak became quiet again. At this moment, Fei Lei also brought the Electric Tomb down the mountain. Fei Lei, what are you doing? After being pulled away from Green Bull Mountain by Fei Lei, Lightning Tomb spoke to him slowly. Didn't you see the killing intent in Qingtian's eyes just now? It's obvious that he wants to kill us. But he seemed to have been restrained by something just now. Anyway, our business is almost done. Let's find a place to wait and see. Hearing Fei Lei's words, Lightning Tomb nodded at him. With their immortal king's strength, as long as they were not in a place like Green Bull Mountain, if they were in the other regions of the demon spirit world, who would be able to do anything to them? At the same time, in the Green Bull Mountain, Xiao Changtian and Futian sat beside a bonfire. On top of the flames was a roasted ox leg. After getting Qingfeng out of the pit, Xiao Changtian and Futian also took materials from the ground. As he ate the roast beef, Futian watched Xiao Changtian eat it with a face full of oil. This was the cultivation of his master to experience life in the mortal world. From Futian's point of view, Xiao Changshan's every move seemed so natural. There was no spiritual energy fluctuation on his body, but the spiritual energy between heaven and earth automatically gathered on his body. It seemed that he was still a long way from becoming an omnipotent expert. Xiao Changtian looked at the dazed Futian and said slowly, "Futian, don't just stand there. It's not bad to eat while it's hot. If someone comes, how much can you eat?" This Futian was still in a daze while eating. If he were to eat with others, he would probably not be full even after the Green Bull was finished. After hearing Xiao Changshan's words, Futian smiled at him. Following that, he also tore off a piece of fat from the Green Bull's body like Xiao Changtian. "Master, this is for you. No need, I'll do it myself." At this time, Black Panther and Yellow Pig had also arrived outside Qingfeng's mansion. Seeing that the array formation of the mansion in front of them had been destroyed, Black Panther, Yellow Pig, and the others looked at each other. His body also rushed in. Sitting next to the bonfire, Futian seemed to have sensed something. He also looked in the direction of the entrance. "Master, it seems that someone is coming." Xiao Changtian rubbed his belly when he heard what Futian said. "It doesn't matter. Let them come. There's nothing to eat." The green bull had already been eaten by him and Futian. If someone came, they probably wouldn't get anything. When Futian heard Xiao Changshan's words, he nodded. Indeed, if those ferocious beasts came in, they would also be sending food to his master. Chapter 566. I'm just a bear, I don't have any meat. 1. Uttered by Bexenville. CM Sky of Yao Spirit, Green Maple Mansion. Black Panther and Yellow Pig led the demons behind them and charged into the mansion. There are 2 humans there. In the demon horde, an unknown demon beast shouted loudly. Then the demons gathered behind a bush. Lord Qingfeng, the Black Panther, stood in front of the monster horde and said coldly when he saw Xiao Changtian holding a thigh in his hand and the bones on the ground. "Human unforgivable." The Yellow Pig saw the shelf above the bonfire that had not been taken down and said angrily. Then, Black Panther and Yellow Pig planned to attack Xiao Changtian. Black Panther, Yellow Pig, wait! Just as Black Panther and Yellow Pig were about to rush out, a pair of powerful palms grabbed them. After the 2 of them turned around and saw who it was, they said unhappily, "Black Bear, what are you doing?" The one who caught the Black Panther and the Yellow Pig was a gray-yellow bear with a strong body. Just like Black Panther and Yellow Pig, he was also one of the mini monster kings. "You 2 don't need to be in such a hurry. Since this person dared to brazenly roast Lord Qingfeng to eat, I don't think it's that simple. We still have to think about it carefully." Black Bear looked at Black Panther and Yellow Pig and said slowly to them. After the Yellow Pig heard the Black Bear's words, it also broke free from his palm. "Black Bear, if you're afraid, just say it. There are so many of us, and he only has 2 people. Can he make us run away with our tails between our legs?" Yellow Pig said unhappily, then said to the demons behind him, "The human race is so arrogant in our territory. Brothers, if you're not afraid of death, follow me." Yes, Lord Green Maple was only injured and was ambushed by those 2 humans. "We have to take revenge for Lord Green Maple." At this moment, Black Panther also chimed in. "Black Bear, if you're afraid, you don't have to come." After mocking the Black Bear, under the leadership of Black Panther and Yellow Pig, the demons attacked Xiao Changtian. Beside the bonfire, Xiao Changtian said to Futian after hearing the rustling of the grass, "Futian, get ready. The prey is coming." After hearing Xiao Changshan's words, Futian understood. He placed the goldfish tank on the rock on the ground and followed Xiao Changtian into the bushes. Master really knew how to play. Futian looked at the ancestral dragon on the ground and sighed in his heart. With senior ancestral dragon's strength, how could the demon beasts in this mountain be his match? However, Xiao Changtian still put all kinds of traps and beast lure powder on the ground before eating. As long as the demon beasts in the forest smelled this scent, they would definitely walk over. Master's actions were really returning to his original state. Xiao Changtian and Futian hid behind a big tree, looking at the beast luring powder and traps on the ground. He was also looking forward to it. With these traps that he had set up, and the temptation of the little goldfish. I don't believe those wild beasts won't take the bait. When Black Panther saw Xiao Changtian and Futian walking behind them, he shouted, "Quick, those humans are trying to escape." As soon as he finished speaking, Black Panther also increased his speed. Ah! Black Panther had only taken a few steps when he heard a series of miserable cries coming from behind him. He turned around and saw that some demon monarchs were trapped by a clamp on the ground and were struggling in pain. This is a high-grade immortal item, detestable human. Hearing the screams of the other demon beasts, the Black Panther also wanted to find the Yellow Pig. When he saw the Yellow Pig being caught by a clamp, he also wanted to save it. Suddenly, a smell entered his nostrils and he felt dizzy. Damn it! Black Panther cursed in his heart, then felt his entire body go limp and weak. He directly transformed into his original form and fell to the ground with a bang. After a while, Xiao Changtian said to Futian from behind the tree. Futian, let's go out and take a look. Xiao Changtian also walked towards the bonfire. Xiao Changtian rubbed his eyes when he saw the wild beasts on the ground. Wow, it can't be so many. At this moment, beside the bonfire, there were fallen leopards and wild boars caught by his beast trap. They were all delicious and meaty animals. Xiao Changtian walked to the bonfire and said a few words. This snake can be used to make soup for Futian and the others. There's still this turtle, look at this old turtle. It'll leave you a complete corpse. Sin. Originally, he did not want to get so many wild beasts. He did not expect the effect of his powder to be so good. However, the law of the jungle was the same. He did not mess with them. Perhaps he would be their food now. Looking at the wild beasts on the ground, Xiao Changtian said slowly to Futian. Futian, come over and help us. We can bring it back for everyone to try. All right. After, he also came to Xiao Changtian's side. He helped Xiao Changtian put the beasts on the ground into his interspatial ring. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. At this moment, Xiao Changtian and Futian both heard a noise coming from the grass beside them. Who is there? Futian stared at the grass beside him and said slowly. Behind the bushes, the body of the black bear instinctively stiffened when he heard Futian's voice. He could sense that Futian and Xiao Changtian were getting closer and closer. What should he do? He had just witnessed the outcome of Black Panther and Yellow Pig. I don't care. The black bear turned around and walked toward the grass. Then, in the eyes of Futian and Xiao Changtian, a bear with two big watery eyes walked out of the grass. After the black bear walked out of the grass, it crouched down beside Xiao Changtian and Futian. Was this black bear surrendering? Xiao Changtian looked at the black bear walking out of the bushes and smiled. All living creatures had an instinctive reaction to danger. It seemed that the bear had seen the fallen beasts. He surrendered. At this moment, Futian slowly said to Xiao Changtian, Master, this bear looks quite meaty. Why don't we kill him and bring him back? When Black Bear heard Futian's words, he instinctively felt a wave of fear. Now he understood the purpose of Xiao Changtian and the others coming here. It turned out that he wanted to capture them back and use them as food. If he had known earlier, he wouldn't have been so greedy. This damned bear meat. As he thought about this, the black bear curled up its body and looked at Xiao Changtian with its big eyes. It was as if he was saying, I'm just a bear. I don't have any meat. Chapter 567. Fei Lei Killed 1. Uttered by Bexenville. CM Sky of Yao Spirit. Green Maple Mansion. Xiao Changtian looked at the black bear in front of him. He rolled his eyes and walked toward the black bear with a smile. Seeing the smile on Xiao Changshan's face, the black bear's body trembled instinctively. Xiao Changshan's smile was like a demon descending from the heavens. At this moment, Xiao Changtian patted the black bear's head. Little black bear, we won't do anything to you. Do you know where the demon beasts in this mountain range are? Can you gather them together and bring us there? After Xiao Changtian patted his head, the black bear had goosebumps all over his body. Hearing Xiao Changtian's words, he heaved a sigh of relief. Fortunately, his begging for mercy worked. The other party did not have the intention of killing him. Quite a lot. If he were to gather other demon beasts, wouldn't that be betraying Green Bull Mountain? Thinking of Qing Tian's strength, Black Bear hesitated. Xiao Changtian saw that the black bear was only looking at him and didn't respond. He also understood something and took the goldfish tank from Futian's hand. Little black bear, don't be afraid. Look at this goldfish. Isn't it fine following us? The moment he saw the goldfish tank in Xiao Changshan's hand and the ancestral dragon in his eyes, the black bear found itself brought into a spiritual world. There were no clouds in his spiritual world, and waves of golden light rippled in the air. Roar, roar, roar. Accompanied by waves of roars, the ancestral dragon's figure in the clouds was also reflected in the black bear's eyes. Sensing the monstrous providence in the sky, Black Bear was also shocked. What was this? Ancestral dragon? Then, without any hesitation, the black bear crouched on the ground. Senior ancestral dragon and willing to submit. What a joke. He had actually encountered one of their demon ancestors, the ancestral dragon. Regardless of whether he was the real ancestral dragon or not, just this pressure was much stronger than Qing Tian. Since the ancestral dragon had submitted to the human in front of him, what was there for him to struggle for? At the same time, the black bear came to Xiao Changshan's feet and hugged his thigh. Xiao Changtian looked at the black bear hugging his thigh and was delighted. It seemed that this black bear had agreed to it. Alright, hurry up and do it. Xiao Changtian patted the black bear's head and said slowly. Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, Black Bear also got up and prepared to leave. Looking at the black bear leaving, Fu Tian said to Xiao Changtian, Master, do you want me to go over and take a look? No need. Well, just wait. Xiao Changtian smiled confidently and said to Fu Tian, this black bear seemed to have quite a high level of intelligence. There was no need to lie to him. If he lied to him, then forget it. If he found someone, they would send him food, right? Thinking so, Xiao Xiaotian said to Fu Tian, Fu Tian, let's continue to deal with these beasts. After Black Bear left Green Maple Manor, he also ran wildly for a distance. After seeing that the Green Maple Mansion was no longer visible, he leaned against a tree to rest. It was too terrifying. It was too terrifying. Whether it was the death of the Black Panther and the Yellow Pig, or the appearance of the ancestral dragon, they all gave the Black Bear a huge shock. I should go and find Lord Qingtian first. This excuse. I got it. The Black Bear seemed to have thought of something, and quickly walked towards the mountain peak. When he arrived at the lake at the top of the mountain, the Black Bear's face was also covered in dust. Kneeling down towards the lake on the mountaintop, the Black Bear slowly said to the void in front of him, Lord Qingtian, bad news, Black Panther and the others, they're all dead. Bang! 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 As soon as Black Bear finished speaking, the lake water in front of him churned. Moo! 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 Accompanied by the sound of a cow's cry, Qingtian's figure appeared in the Black Bear's eyes. Compared to last time, Qingtian's strength seemed to have improved a lot. He slowly walked down from the sky. Wherever his figure passed, the space would tremble slightly. When he arrived in front of the Black Bear, Qingtian also slowly said to him, Black Bear, tell me, what exactly is going on? Although he had fought with Fu Tian once, in Qingtian's estimation, Fusion's strength was at most about the same as his. If he didn't use some tricks, he wouldn't be confident of winning against so many demon monarchs. When these demon kings went over this time, Qingtian did not think that they would die at all. Feeling Qingtian's anger, the Black Bear also wiped the corners of its eyes. Lord Qingtian, it was all those two humans. Those two humans tricked us to the back of Lord Qingfeng's mansion. He and the other human experts killed Black Panther and the others. When Qingtian heard Black Bear's words, anger surged from the bottom of his heart. He clenched his fingers into a fist, and the stone beside him exploded uncontrollably. This is too much, Qingtian said, and then his body lit up with a green light. Reaching out to the void in front of him, the Black Bear saw the void in front of him shatter. Qingtian's large hand carried a powerful aura as it attacked into the distance. At the same time, Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb, who had just escaped Green Bull Mountain, were staying in an inn in a small town. In the inn, Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb suddenly walked to the window and looked at the void in front of them. His body instinctively felt a sense of danger. Then boom, 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 sounds came from the sky above the town. A huge green bull's figure was faintly discernible. Die! Qingtian's voice passed through the layers of void space and entered Fei Lei and Electric Tomb's ears. Then, a green light the size of a thumb shot toward Fei Lei and Lightning Tomb. Run! Fei Lei saw the green light coming from the sky and pushed the Electric Tomb beside him. They had thought that if they left the Green Bull Mountain like this, they would incur the displeasure of Qingtian. However, they did not expect Qingtian to have such a strong killing intent towards the other two. The green light in the air was clearly not something they could block. Thunder God descends. Fei Lei's true essence surged and covered his body with a layer of lightning armor. Then he faced the green light head-on. Lightning Tomb shouted as he watched Fei Lei and the green light collide. No! Bang! On Green Bull Mountain, Black Bear stood beside Qingtian and could feel Fei Lei's death. Looking at the blue sky beside him, his body instinctively felt a wave of fear. One escaped. Beside Black Bear, Qing Tian also sighed slowly at this time. If it wasn't for the fact that he hadn't broken through this time, the lightning tomb definitely wouldn't have escaped from his palm. Lord Qingtian, what should we do now? At this moment, Black Bear also said slowly to Qing Tian beside him. Chapter 568. If the other two monster kings know, you'll utted by Bexenville. CMB Dead Demon Spirit Sky, Green Bull Mountain Peak. After Qing Tian heard Black Bear's words, he slowly said to him, "I'll go chase after the lightning tomb. That human shouldn't have left Green Bull Mountain yet. Take my token, and activate the formation of Green Bull Mountain. Join forces with the demons to seal off the entire mountain range. I'll get those humans outside to cooperate with you. Don't let them escape." As he spoke, Qing Tian gave the Black Bear an item that looked like a cow horn. Black Bear slowly took it from his hand and agreed. Looking at the green ox horn in his hand, Black Bear was also delighted. He was still worried about how he was going to bring the other demonic beasts to Xiaochang Tian. He did not expect Qing Tian to give him such a token. Following that, Qing Tian's figure also turned into a whirlwind and flew into the distance. Looking at the departing Qing Tian, the Black Bear did not hesitate at all. He took the token in his hand and began to work. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Under Black Bear's control, the entire Green Bull Mountain became restless. In the forest, many demonic beasts were active. Bang, bang, bang. The sounds of many demons walking around in the Green Bull Mountain caused a series of loud noises. In some places, due to the large number of demon beasts passing by, the flowers and grass on the ground were trampled into a mess. Have you heard? A human entered our Green Bull Mountain and killed a few demon kings. I heard. It is said that Lord Qingtian was furious because of this. Not only did he seal off the entire mountain range, but he also activated the mountain protecting formation. As for those ancestors who were usually in seclusion, they have also begun to come out. A few demon beasts walked into the forest and chatted. After receiving the order from the Black Bear, the demon beasts in the mountain slowly walked towards the foot of the Green Bull Mountain. On the other side, at the entrance of Green Bull Mountain, a hunting team wearing sheepskin beast clothing was slowly walking through the forest. Unexpectedly, the demon beasts that saw them did not attack them. "Leader, why do you think we took on the job of Green Sky? It's obviously a mess." In the crowd, a man dressed in beast clothing said slowly to the woman in the purple mink coat in front of the team. The woman smiled when she heard the woman's words. "Little Feng, you don't understand. When Qingtian came to find us just now, his strength had obviously increased by a level. He also gave us half a year of fair competition. Why not take something that was given to us for free? Moreover, he also said that we need to kill that person." The woman in the purple mink fur coat replied slowly. They were a mercenary group in the Demon Spirit Sky. Unlike the other heaven realms, the Demon Spirit Sky was a paradise for demonic beasts. Most of the humans who lived here hunted for a living. He set up various mercenary groups to hunt demon beasts in various mountain ranges. In the end, he would bring them out to sell and make a living. However, this was still a paradise for demon beasts, and the number of demon beasts far exceeded that of humans. Many humans were beaten up by demonic beasts in the process of hunting demonic beasts. This was also the reason why the purple-robed woman would agree to a fair competition. As long as it was a fair competition, they would fight in the established Colosseum. Regardless of life and death, whoever lost would be the other party's spoils of war. This could also reduce the casualties of the mercenary group. The man didn't say anything when he heard the purple-robed woman's words. Then, at the front of the group, a mercenary group member slowly said, "Guild leader, there are two people here. Are they our targets?" Looking at the member standing on the branch, the purple-robed woman made a hand gesture at him. At the same time, the mercenary group members behind the purple-robed woman also walked forward in an orderly manner. At this time, Xiao Changtian and Futian were also walking in the forest. It would take some time for the black bear to gather the wild beasts. He thought about how he had basically never brought the ancestral dragon out before. Xiao Changtian also took the goldfish tank in his hand and wandered around the forest. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Xiao Changtian and Futian were walking in the forest when the branches around them suddenly started to shake. A few cultivators from the mercenary group jumped down from the tree. He held a crossbow in his hand and aimed it at Xiao Changtian. Seeing this sudden change, Futian also took a step forward and stared at the surrounding cultivators. Put it down, put it down. At this moment, a woman's voice came from the front of Xiao Changtian and Futian. Then, Xiao Changtian and Futian saw a woman in purple walking out from behind a big tree. The purple-robed woman wore a mink coat and had her hair tied into 2 ponytails. After she appeared, the surrounding mercenary group cultivators also put their weapons in their hands. Xiao Changtian looked at the clothes of the people around him, and then looked at the purple-robed woman in front of him. She patted Futian's shoulder and handed him the goldfish tank. Leave it to me. Xiao Changtian saw the purple-robed woman walking towards them. Hey, what are you doing here? Don't you know that it's dangerous in the mountains now? The purple-robed woman slowly approached Xiao Changtian and Futian and said. When she first saw Xiao Changtian and Futian, the purple-robed woman had also checked their bodies. Xiao Changtian and Futian didn't have any aura. It was likely that some weak cultivators with low strength wanted to enter the mountain to obtain opportunities. Therefore, the purple-robed woman didn't let her mercenary group make a move. After Xiao Changtian heard the purple-robed woman's words, he came to her and said slowly, "Like you, we came to the mountains to hunt." When the purple-robed woman heard Xiao Changshan's words, she confirmed her thoughts. Just as he had expected, these people wanted to obtain resources from the mountains. I advise you to come back after a while. It's not peaceful in the mountains these days. The purple-clothed woman reminded them when she recalled how she had just entered the hunting industry. Hearing the purple-robed woman's words, Xiao Changtian pulled Futian to the side. Thank you for your reminder, but we haven't encountered any danger in the past few days. I also hunted a lot of prey, such as wild leopards, wild boars, and so on. I wonder what kind of danger you're talking about. Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, the purple-robed woman shook her head. Looks like you guys are quite lucky to be able to hunt such prey. If the Black Panther Demon Monarch and Yellow Boar Demon Monarch in this mountain find out, you'll probably lose your lives. Hearing the Monster King, Xiao Chang said to the purple-clothed woman, "Is there a demonic beast coming out?" When the purple-robed woman heard Xiao Changshan's words, she looked at him in shock. How did this person survive when he knew nothing? At this moment, she also saw Xiao Changtian walking to the side with Futian. Thank you, miss. Chapter 569. Purple Pearl Mercenary Group Under Attack Utted by Bexenville. CMI Demon Spirit Sky. Green Bull Mountain. Xiao Changtian heard the purple-robed woman's words and took Futian back the way they came. Futian, let's go back and set up some things and wait for the black bear to come back. Xiao Changtian said slowly to Futian. Master, what are you doing? That lady is right. Although there are many wild beasts in this mountain, we might encounter demon beasts. We still have to make some preparations. Xiao Changtian explained to Futian. Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, Futian smiled at him. He also understood that his master was tempering his heart in the mortal world and avoiding demon beasts like mortals. All right, master. After knowing Xiao Changshan's thoughts, Futian said to Xiao Changtian. On the mercenary group's side, the purple-robed woman watched Xiao Changtian and Futian leave. He turned to the 2 fur-clad men beside him and slowly said, White Wolf, Lord White, the 2 of you go over and take a look. Take them away from Green Bull Mountain. White Wolf and White Lord were also stunned when they heard the purple-clad woman's words. Captain, there's no need for that. Just let the 2 little cultivators retreat, and let them fend for themselves. At this moment, Lord White also shrugged his shoulders, clearly unwilling to go. At this moment, the purple-robed woman also glanced at the 2 of them. Let's go, let's go. Sensing the purple-clad woman's gaze, the White Wolf smiled and said to the purple-clad woman. Following that, He and Lord White flew towards the direction where Xiao Changtian and Futian had left. At the same time, on the other side of the forest, the black bear brought its own race and wandered in the forest. Bang! 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 A huge bear paw directly broke a nearby tree. Find them all! The black bear's voice echoed in the forest. At this moment, there were huge bears around him. These bears were looking around the forest, as if they were looking for something. After Blue Sky left, the only obstacle for Black Bear was the Purple Pearl mercenary group that had entered from outside. As long as he killed them, he would have the token of Qingtian. He would be able to complete Xiao Changshan's mission without any hindrance and gather the other demonic beasts together. On the other side, after White Wolf and Baijun chased after them, they realized that they could not see Xiao Changtian and Futian at all. F***CK, these two people ran quite fast. It seems that they have already escaped. The White Wolf stood on a big tree and looked around. Why don't we go back? I can't see the figures of those two people. They were either eaten by demon beasts or ran away. Lord White complained when he heard the White Wolf's words. I don't know why our leader asked us to follow him. It's just 2 cheap lives. Lord White continued to grumble as he looked at the White Wolf on the tree. When he saw the White Wolf pointing at him, he said to him, White Wolf, why are you pointing at me? What's wrong? Before the White Wolf could answer, Lord White felt a black shadow appear in front of him. He turned around and saw a bear standing behind him. Big Brother Black Bear. Lord White looked at the black bear behind him and muttered. However, before he could finish speaking, the bear's huge paw slapped him. Bang! After being slapped by the bear, White Lord bled profusely on the spot and fell to the ground, never to stand up again. When the White Wolf saw White Lord lying on the ground, it said to the black bear, What is the meaning of your Green Bull Mountain? You invited us to help. Before the White Wolf could finish speaking, another bear had already arrived under the White Wolf's tree. The entire tree was broken, and the White Wolf fell into the bear's hands. He clenched his fist and blood flowed out. Bang! After casually throwing the White Wolf on the ground, the two bears began to communicate. The Purple Pearl Mercenary Company should be in front. The clan leader should be there already. The other bear nodded in agreement. Then the two bears ran forward. On the Purple Pearl Mercenary Company's side, the purple-clothed woman had already let her mercenary company's cultivators wait for White Wolf and the others. At this moment, there were also some mercenary group cultivators complaining in the forest. It's only because our guild leader is kind, and those two are lucky. Otherwise, who would care about them? In my opinion, the two of them came to Green Bull Mountain to court death. Why should we bother with them? Waiting at the same spot also meant that their mission time had unknowingly been extended. Stop talking. Guild leader is here. As the two mercenary group cultivators spoke, they saw the purple-robed woman slowly walking towards them. As the purple-clothed lady approached, a miserable cry sounded from within the mercenary group. Aha! Hearing this scream, everyone immediately became on guard. The purple-robed woman also surged her true essence and looked in the direction of her mercenary group. Be on guard. The purple-robed woman shouted from the mercenary group and looked ahead. Bang! 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 Accompanied by the sound of footsteps and the trembling of the ground, a voice sounded in the ears of the mercenary group. All humans must die. As the sound of his voice faded, Black Bear appeared in front of the Purple Pearl mercenary group with many bears. When the purple-robed woman saw the Black Bear and the many black bears, her eyes narrowed and she shouted at the Black Bear. Black Bear, what is the meaning of this? As she spoke, true essence surged from the purple-robed woman's body. The aura of an immortal king was displayed on the purple-robed woman. The Black Bear was a golden immortal, so when it felt the pressure of an immortal king, its body slowed down for a moment. Don't panic, kill this group of humans. The Black Bear roared angrily and took out the horn that the green bull had given him. The horn floated in the air and emitted a dazzling green light. Then he suppressed the purple-robed woman's aura. Roar! The Black Bear let out a furious roar and entangled itself with the purple-robed woman. Meanwhile, the Purple Pearl Mercenary Company cultivators, who were slaughtered by the Black Bear clan, were cursing. After the despicable shifters lured us here, they wanted to kill us. Brothers, let's fight it out with them. The mercenary group and the bear clan tangled together, and a huge chaotic battle began. Other than the purple-clothed woman, the other members of the Purple Pearl mercenary group had cultivations similar to the Black Bear clan. However, due to the difference in numbers, the Purple Pearl Mercenary Company's cultivators were quickly wiped out by the Bear Clan's attacks. The purple-robed woman in the air looked at the mercenary group members, who were dying one after another. She was also furious. Qing Tian is really good. Our Purple Pearl and your Green Bull Mountain will fight to the death. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support. And don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.